Welcome to the Planescape, where good and evil clash, where law and order maintain their delicate balance, the battleground for gods and monsters. Many heroes have written their legends in the stars of the astral sea, but these are not their stories. The Aspera and her crew, Kyana, Finbar, Virla, and Dani, may not be the stuff of legends yet, but they're definitely rolling with difficulty.
Hello and welcome to a little planes hopping D&D campaign, folks. My name is Austin, your friendly neighborhood dungeon master, and as always, I am joined by my dauntless discoverers daring to delve into dangerous domains. Say hello, everyone.
That's the only D word we've been discussing.
Yeah.
Hello. Use your imaginations, folks.
Or don't.
Welcome back.
Or don't.
Season 3, Episode 5. Guys, we're almost halfway through.
Yeah.
Things are going well, I'd say.
Yikes.
As well as they could be.
Yeah, winners only this season.
Yeah. Winners only this season. We'll see how long that holds out.
Before we get started,
I believe there are some announcements, so I will just cordially invite Sophia to tell us what those are.
And the ball is flying over the net. It's she looks like she's gearing up to
nothing was
return
tossed to
the
you.
serve.
Nothing was thrown.
Another volleyball one?
No, tennis, man.
Oh.
With the racket.
I don't
was
think
not
they
clear.
throw the ball over the
Well,
net.
it goes over the net.
Yeah, it does.
Austin wound up
I may not know
his
much.
tennis racket and he served it. So today, we've got the usual disclaimers. There's a Patreon for this podcast. There's a Discord. There's lots of fun stuff. Good things all around. But most importantly, and above all else, we do have a sponsor for today's adventure. And so I'd like to thank World Anvil for once again sponsoring this adventure. They have a amazing browser-based world-building tool that is designed to help you, the creator, write and world build, all while keeping your work organized in one place. They've got world maps, they've got calendars, they've got customizable wikis, visual timelines, and so much more that let you decide how best to build your world. And when you're ready to write, you don't need to look any further than their built-in word processor. You can write your prose directly in World Anvil, keeping every step of the process in one place. It's super convenient. You gotta love it. And we all know that TTRPGs are all about the power of friendship, and with real-time collaboration, you can work with your players or other creators on the same project in a variety of different systems. Apropos of nothing. On top of all that jazz, World Anvil recently rolled out a new... What is it?
It's apropos, right?
Apropos of nothing. Apropos of nothing. Anyway.
Evangelion.
Sorry, we caught it. Take two.
Apropos of nothing. On top of all that jazz, World Anvil recently rolled out a new feature called Whiteboards. This visual canvas allows creators to freely draw out their ideas, adding diagrams, flowcharts, mood boards, and more. If you're a more visual creator, this feature is perfect for you. You can chart out character arcs, storyboard, key scenes, plot a new little roadmap for yourself through the world's greatest junkyard to, find some solvent glue or whatever it is, or sovereign glue or whatever it is that you're looking for. Who knows anything about that? And whatever else you need to help make the story you see in your mind come to life. Interested? Of course you are, and it only gets better. Because for our listeners, World Anvil is offering a special discount. Just use code PLUG at checkout for 40% off a yearly membership. That's code PLUG, P-L-U-G, at checkout for 40% off a yearly membership. And thank you to World Anvil for not only suffering through this, but also continuing to sponsor today's adventure. That's all I got. So you see the tennis ball's flown over the net at this point. She's returned the serve, and it's going back over towards Austin, who is definitely ready with his tennis racket to continue this metaphor. Thank you again to World Anvil for sponsoring today's adventure.
That was one.
It's more like it hit the net
It's
and the ball boy
that
is
Death
running
Note
out.
tennis match where they're having a whole internal monologue between every
Yeah.
swing. Where it's like, if
Any
I
anime
win, he'll
sports.
know for sure
I
I'm
think
Kira.
what we've learned is that I just shouldn't ad-lib. But that's what the mid-roll's for.
I thought you did a decent job.
Austin, what
I
were
thought
the-
it was like
Austin, what
solid
were going to
7 out of
happen
10.
if you were to segue into Sophia with your own sports metaphor? And Austin takes the bowling ball and it's rolling, unprompted by any
bowling a
human
sport.
interaction now towards the pins.
It's a
Do that what
turkey.
you will,
On the scale
Sophia.
of game to sport, bowling falls squarely in game. I'm sorry.
My high
it in
school
the
bowling
Olympics?
team would beg to differ.
Yes. There's a scale. bowling
No.
would get you at about a 4.
No. It's not a
Anyway.
spectrum. All sports are games, but not all games are sports.
We're here
no,
to
it's-
game,
it's,
aren't we? We're here to play a game of sorts, maybe?
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I
Speaking
play
of being
D&D for
bad
the
at
chicks.
ad-libbing, who's ready
Yeah.
to improvise?
Improv, you say?
Oh man.
Well, thank you, World Anvil, for your support. Thank you, patrons, for your support. Thank you, Discord and community members at large, for continuing to be awesome. So far, so good, as I say. So,
Yeah, so you legally can't kill us this session because look at all the people giving us money. You'll be disappointing.
that is kind of my job.
To disappoint?
So then, without
Actually,
any
no,
further
they love
ado,
that shit. Be like
Yeah.
mid-season finale player death.
They're glad.
Player
Yeah.
death?
What's
Angst,
mine?
angst,
As are we
fanfic.
all.
We're
Yeah.
3
As are
seasons
we.
in. There's got to be one. Come on.
Yeah. It's about to happen.
I'm not going to say anything because I have the least HP of this party.
That is true.
At 0?
Yeah.
Or 9 or whatever it is
Currently?
now?
Ooh, what is it at?
I'm sure we'll get in a long
15,
rest before we
thank
hit
you
the
very
second
much.
layer of Acheron.
Dani just admiring the view from her glass house and deciding not to toss any stones.
No, Dani throws
anyway.
stones and it hits her own glass house.
Bounces off the glass and it hits me.
And goes unconscious because she has least hit points. When last we left our heroes,
It's us.
stuff happened. I don't know. We were off for the holidays. When last we left our heroes, you had journeyed to Bitopia, undertaking a job from Delphine under the guise of a contractor hired by Otto to keep an eye on you guys and ensure that he makes money, even if you should go gallivanting around, but actually in the service of the Mistress of Magic herself, Mistra. You had traveled for a job that was set to restore Docent, instead changed Docent out for a new arcane intelligence by the name of Emmy, being with an intense curiosity to explore the planescape at large. You
go. The
followed
no
some
robot got
leads. You followed some leads, visited Maxim for some advice, and ultimately decided you were interested in following some information that was exposed by Docent. That Docent's origins come from a multiverse outside of this one. That there are indeed many worlds contained within worlds, and yours is but one. That the crew who had helmed his ship and brought him here could not return after entering to explore your worlds, and so decided to begin their lives here at some unspecified amount of time ago, and, for lack of a better word, crashed, marooned their ship somewhere in the place where all forgotten things go, the second layer of the eternal battlefield of Acheron, known as Thuldanin. It is here that you currently travel, with the goal of locating this lost ship, the Ad Astra, and whatever secrets may be contained within. And so, we begin. In Mechanus, we hear the tick, tick, tick that pervades this entire plane in perpetuity, but we also hear a faint hum, subtly growing louder, and as it goes from black, we see the Aspera drifting through the gears, and Virla set in the helm, the tuning fork attuned to the portal to Acheron, and ultimately Thuldanin, leading you forward following the sound. It has been a little time past, a few hours, since you struck it against the magnetic obelisk, had the fight against the Formians who guarded it there. So we now pick up a few hours passing and have passed and are going to pass before you reach the portal. And so in the quiet, except for this constant ticking and faint but growing louder hum, what are each of the crew members up to and how are they feeling? I'll remind you that every layer of a plane you pass to is exponentially more attuned to away from the prime material and thus reality, physics as you know them, and closer towards the ultimate ideal of its lawful alignment. So moving from the first layer of Acheron to the second in this case, knowing how dangerous the first one is, this one threatens to be 10 or perhaps even 100-fold. let's start with let's start down in the kitchen. How does Finbar feel?
It's been a while since he's been on sort of Beastlands is one thing. He's been to the Beastlands, second layer of the Beastlands. He knows is dangerous, but he knows what to anticipate. Thuldanen, no idea what he's getting into, so he's a little nervous. He's going to spend a lot of this time doing what he does best. He's going to prep some food, get some temporary hit points going. Other than that, he's going to grip his gilded acorn, because they're going to need a lot more bodies going in through this portal.
Are we finally going to find out what that thing is for?
All right. It's just a holy hand grenade.
1, 2, 5, 3, so 3.
Red. How does Kyana feel?
I'll be honest, I don't think any of this is fully registered with her. I think her last time at Acheron was very, very fraught, but for no reasons that actually were based on what Acheron itself was like. It was like, oh yeah, there were cubes and stuff. Anyway, that was where we had to punch that dragon. But like that was something that just followed us out of the astral sea. That wasn't Acheron's fault. So I think she's just kind of, I mean, she took a couple hits in the fight with the things, so I think she'd like to prioritize taking a rest of perhaps a certain length, just to, get all that back up to snuff.
Well, certainly a short rest time has passed, and you guys are ultimately on your own schedule. Mechanus, it's not as risk-free as, like, Mount Celestia, which is just a pretty chill place to be, but certainly it's relatively safe. If you guys chose to take a long rest here, you certainly could.
That would be my vote, certainly.
Yes.
Second that.
Oh yes, that's right. The near-death experience. So yeah, I think that's what she's doing, sort of just like chilling out a little bit. I think she's more excited than anything else. It's like, oh, this plane, it's like nothing you've ever seen before, and she's like, whoa. Sweet. Everything is like nothing I've ever seen before, but it's always nice to see something I've never seen before. So hopefully she'll be pleasantly surprised, but I get the feeling that's unlikely. But that's me metagaming.
Fair enough. Dani, what is Dani's head state as we approach?
Dani is sitting in a pile of blueprints and research notes in the engine room, just like half like biting off bandages and wrapping up her arm and stuff from nearly dying last fight in an attempt to take a short or potentially long rest. Every once in a while,
be up to you guys, like I said.
She'll send Plug through the secret trapdoor that leads into one of the kitchen cabinets to grab a snack and retrieve it. But I think Dani, like, kind of similar to Kyana, is more veering towards excitement than fear. I think she's a little bit more aware of the danger they're going into, but we're going to what is potentially the single most exciting plane in the entire multiverse for her. It's a giant scrapyard. So Dani is trying to go over every single note she's ever made, every invention she's ever thought of, every upgrade she's ever wanted to do to the ship, and be like, what do I need to be looking for while I'm out here? And he's like, okay, like soldering glue, or like, I don't know, some fuel sources, and like making mental notes and maybe scrawling on her hand with soot that washes off immediately of like things to do. But she's pretty chipper despite the near-death experience. As far as she's concerned, this is dangerous but exciting.
Understood. Virla.
I suppose then Virla has taken it upon himself to assume all of the burden of worrying about going into the second layer. He usually divides the work of piloting between Kyana, and then he goes seeks other people out, or goes into his room to reflect or conspiracy board or whatever. This time, no, he is. Well, I suppose since he's the only one who sees the resonance of the trail to Thuldanen, but he's also just very, very just. He is stock still in his seat, just kind of almost frozen in anxiety and worry about. His biggest worry is that everyone kind of took something of a beat. Like Virla is down almost half. Dani nearly died, and his worry is that the other crew is sort of thinking that if there was to be an event of a death, they have a fallback, and Virla knows that they don't have a fallback. And so he's kind of just sort of immersed and absorbed in those thoughts. I think I think at the end of last session, and at the very least, I assume this could be communicated before we take off in the Aspera. But my thinking was that we would make our way to what would look to what we believe would be the portal out of Mechanus into Thuldanin, and we would just post up near there and take a long rest, so that everyone.
You certainly could do that. It would be obvious to you by the tuning fork that you had arrived.
Okay.
So
that is that is his goal.
If that's the plan, which it seems like everyone wants to do that, we'll definitely do that. There is one more matter before you cross to Thuldanin, though, as the ship reaches a fever pitch and you come to a sort of confined set of gears. I say confined, this is still a massive space. It's several football fields long, but you've sort of entered it's a box without one side, and you kind of enter in, and in front of you is a gear that's turning, and in the center of it, a ruby red, I believe it's ruby red, to Acheron. A ruby red glow. It doesn't quite look like the colored pools that lead from the astral sea to the outer planes and back again, but it definitely has that vibe. It looks material, but the ringing of the tuning fork and the glow around that ring, which by the way is plenty large enough for the Aspera to fly through,
cool,
give you we're going on foot, give you guys gives you, Virla, the impression that you have indeed arrived. Before you rest, there is one more thing you need to see to, and that is that, I'll remind you, your plan relies on Emmy being able to track the, what's the word I'm looking for? The unique magical frequency upon the weave of this otherworldly magic and whatever, may rest of it, at boosting her ability to innately detect it and allowing her to track it via the ship. So for this, we're trying a new thing. We're doing a combined check. So this is a check with a DC that is considered higher than anyone could reach on their own. But it's going to be a combined check. So imagine this like a skill challenge, but it's just it's just 2 rolls. And I'm going to need an Arcana check from Virla. I'm going to need a tools check from Dani.
No problem.
What we're going to do is you're each going to roll. You're going to add them up. I have the DC here, and there's a DC you need to meet in order for this to work. And then for every 2 that you succeed over that DC, the difficulty of tracking the Ad Astra in Thuldanin for Emmy is going to go down by 1. So basically what's going to happen is you're going to roll, add it, whatever that number is, it's going to influence what Emmy is going to have to roll over and over again when she is in Thuldanin to track the ship.
Okay.
So go ahead and give me those rolls.
Where you at, bro?
So Emmy has a +8. I have a 9.
Did you roll a 1?
I rolled a 1.
Do you want to borrow? Do you want to use one of my inspirations? I have 2 in the bank.
Well, if this is a skill check and I rolled a 1, then maybe something else is hinky. Yeah.
Well, first off, you can use inspirations on skill checks. Second, use your Arcana, not Emmy's. Emmy's going to be rolling once we're in the plane, but whatever your Arcana bonus is, which should still be a +7.
It's still a +8. No, it's a +8 since level 9. So the roll
currently
is
it's a 9. If you want to use an inspiration, you're absolutely allowed.
I assume we're close together at this point when this is happening?
Yes, this is you guys putting your heads together. This is a combination of Virla actively guiding Emmy through the process of what she's going to have to do internally, and Dani, you're literally hooking up something to the helm so that Emmy can sense through the ship, right? She gets a direction, she can kind of see through, because the ship is already all connected together. It's not just wood and nails that holds the thing together. There's magic dispersed from the motive force generator all throughout the ship, and that's what makes the whole thing move. So it's different than a sail, which pulls the ship, right? A sail is wind pushes the ship, which pushes the mast, which pushes the whole thing. The motive force generator makes the whole ship move. So you're tapping Emmy into that so that she basically can see from any part of the ship, right? That's the analogy.
Yeah. Could I use my flash of genius to give Virla +4 to that ability check he just made?
And
yeah, you absolutely can.
Red, if you have inspiration and you're willing to give it,
take one of them.
How many do you have?
I only have 2, so that's one.
We're gonna need those.
I almost want to mind link with Emmy to see what's going on, but I don't want to. It would be rude. It would be rude.
Turn that knob a little bit. No, you're gonna want to. I know. So a little to the left, and you get a +4.
Yes. Okay. All right. Well, that went from a 1. I gotta get new dice.
Yeah, man.
It went from I rolled a 1 on the first time and I rolled a 9 the second time. So that's a what?
Better.
A 17 plus 4, 21.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so 21 for the Arcana, and then what is Dani's?
I rolled a natural 17 plus 12, so that's a 29.
Okay. Cool.
29.
Thanks. What is that? 40?
So 50, I believe.
50. 21
cool.
plus 29 is 50.
All right. Awesome.
Yeah.
I feel a lot better now.
Okay. So the combined DC you had to meet was 40,
Okay. Cool.
Okay, there you go.
Child's play.
which means actually
You're close.
I think even
with the natural 1 and the flash of inspiration, I think you still would have gotten
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Better
but
safe
you would
than
have just
sorry.
made it. Instead, you are over the DC by 10, thus reducing the DC for Emmy's checks by 5.
okay.
I'll take it.
So I'm gonna write that down. Reduce DC by 5. Okay.
Emmy. I'm gonna like whisper to where I think Emmy is because again she's connected to the entire ship, so I assume anywhere. But just like to a spot in the
She's
helmet,
mostly in Virla's head.
Yeah.
behind Virla's head. Then like Emmy, if while you're scanning you happen to pick up any like glues or similar adhesive substances on the radar, could you let me know?
Virla, you hear in your head. Does she know that I can't talk to her? I don't have what do you call it? A mouth?
I think Dani is relying on me to be the go-between. It's up to you what
okay.
you want to do.
I'm thinking it's probably gonna take a lot of my capacity here to kind of pull this off. So I mean, the answer is a yeah. Look, I'll do what you suggest because I don't really know Dani.
You tried to kill me.
You know,
Yeah, you damn near.
you know, I want to say yes, but because I technically can, but also I don't want to sort of oversell myself here on my first like adventure. So
I will say out loud so that both Dani and Emmy can hear. The priority of this expedition is the Ad Astra, but if we are able, if Emmy has the time and the capability to do so, she is happy to look for it. And then internally I will say to Emmy, everyone on this ship, except perhaps maybe Delphine, you can trust as much as you can trust me.
Pat the top of Virla's head and walk away like I don't know it's good as I thought it was gonna be.
I will stress that is my opinion. You are here to, develop your own experiences, and so hopefully what I said might weigh into that. But ultimately it is your decision to perceive people as you may.
that's exciting to get to do that.
It is.
All right.
I have an unrelated question.
Yeah.
I know that we've just kind of accumulated some random weapons and loot and stuff that I don't have a list of because it's never mattered to me before. But I have this new thing I can do. Where because I have a single barbarian class level, which means I'm now proficient with simple and martial weapons, which means I can make any of them a monk weapon after a long rest. And I think I'm just if we have any just lying around, I'm during my rest, I'm just kind of hefting. I'm oh man, I've never really used
We
this
sold all the
quarterstaff.
Hellfire weapons, right?
Right. Well, I wasn't really expecting one of those, but if we have a long sword or something nifty to just try out, just to it's the month of trying new things for Kyana, so
I can offer
question.
you a dagger or a crossbow.
I think I actually have throwing knives, but thank you. That's
I don't keep track of the loot you guys get. That's your job.
Oh,
So-
All I have is my bonking
So if anyone
stick,
has anything-
so nothing crazy.
all right.
It's a
I guess
that's okay.
technically I have a quarterstaff, but that wasn't not a monk weapon to begin
May I
also
offer
have a
you some
quarterstaff. I
no
just never use it.
mulch in this trying time?
Cool. All right, never mind.
You're
Well,
sick.
Perhaps a vial
four?
of topaz dragon goop or squid ash?
Also, I don't
Why
think
have you
Finbar's actually
kept all
talked
this?
about you.
I have a bag of holding. I
having
feel like
that
I should use it.
mulch. I forgot you have that.
Me too, honestly.
Perhaps some water from the plane of salt would do you some good.
Some what?
None of these are
I don't
weapons.
think so. It's like
Not
it
in
wouldn't
the
make it
conventional
harder to
sense.
punch. It just wouldn't really
50
do
feet
a
of
lot.
hempen rope.
I also have
So,
rope. But thank you, Danny.
All right, I think we're gonna call that there.
Finbar goes around and he hands everyone pan-fried stuffed myconid caps.
Ooh.
Seems a bit.
Wait, are these sentient?
Not anymore.
And not only were they sentient, they were sapient.
Ooh.
How many temporary hit points?
I believe it is 5. 5 total.
Yes, but keep in mind, temporary hit points go away after you rest. So I would
So this will be
advise
right at the
eating them
end.
in the morning
Okay.
if you're about to sleep.
Fair enough. One thing that I wanted to do.
Yes.
When Virla sort of realizes that we've arrived at the portal, his first thought is, if we can go in, things can come out. Is the things immediately surrounding the portal, does it seem dangerous at all?
No.
Okay.
I don't like that that wasn't a roll.
Well, I could have had you roll, but it's I didn't want to. I didn't want to give the false impression there was something you could miss. Virla feels pretty confident here that.
Even so, he'll probably post up like one of like a gear that's far enough away to see like the portal, but not like too far away. Maybe like at most 120 feet. Sure. Yeah.
Cool.
And if we're bedding down for a long rest, one last thing that he would like to do is seek out Delphine. Is Delphine
All right.
here? Wait, where is she?
No,
Is she
she's here on the ship.
Okay.
You
Yeah.
brought her. Yeah,
Okay.
Delphine's chilling.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
Please follow me to the cargo hold.
Don't
Like I
be
just
Yeah,
kind of like do a
basically-
drive by and I'll.
Basically in the room that you've set up for her, which is, remind me, did you put her in the captain's quarters or the cargo hold?
I think she might be in my room.
Oh, she in your
Oh
room?
yeah.
Well, there was nothing there.
Where are you then, Kyana?
Probably on the deck,
Oh, okay,
under
all
the
right.
stars, or where I would be if this dimension had stars.
Correct, it does not.
Bah.
Okay, yes, I will go and knock on Kyana's door and request to speak to Delphine.
The door opens. The giant blue-looking woman with the elegant robes, who's stooped down in this low quarters. Oh, Vila, please come in.
Thank you. If we're about to embark on something that is it is dangerous. I will not mince words, and I do not know if there will be time to sort of inquire upon this, but I did want to sort of ask about you and your connection to our mutual lady.
She links telepathically with you. And she says, I was wondering why it took you this long to ask. She said you were a curious one.
I tend to be curious at very inopportune moments.
If this is true, then I easily see what she finds so interesting about you.
May I
Why
ask,
she
and
finds you of note.
you are free to respond with as much candidness as you may see fit. How did you begin? I don't know if working for Mistra is the correct turn of phrase, but when have you begun? For how long have you been associated with her?
As long as my memory reaches back, and that is indeed quite long. Don't ask exactly. No, all of the Mercanes have a deep connection and reverence for Mistra. We share something of a similar interest and a unified mind when it comes to the procurement, practice, collection of magical artifacts and secrets, and this is, of course, as you know, much of interest to the Lady Mistra. Yes, I have worked for her some long time, as have most of my kin. We work as librarians and as gatherers. We speak with each other from across the world. She touches her temple and just kind of waves her hand. And indeed, you remember that she was, like, just yesterday, she was like, hold on, I gotta talk to someone, and then just kind of seemed to focus for a second, and then was like, okay, I have some information. But when exactly I chose? Well, it was a long time ago. But, as I said, the choice is often made up for the Mercades. We have a role to play in this planescape. As now, it seems you may also.
Are you happy to play it? Or do you feel as though you are working for Mistra, not against your will, but against your core desires?
Such a question betrays... Forgive me not to be patronizing. This is indeed a deep philosophical discussion that has been had by many, and few have ever found an answer, but to my mind betrays a misunderstanding of the situation. No. Master Viola, I am not like you or your compatriots here upon the ship. I am not mortal born. I am born with a role, an innate nature, not unlike the fiends that you have often come across. Mine is a nature to be curious about such things. So, am I happy? I am meant to be. Whether you are, is, to my understanding, up to you, and a great gift to be able to choose.
My choice is dependent on the nature of our lady. I ask ultimately because I wanted to know, is she trustworthy? More beyond than does she keep the contract that she has been given? If what conditions must be met for her to dole out punishment to those who do not satisfy her?
At this, she's been talking in your head the whole time, and I assume you're speaking back telepathically.
Mm-hmm.
At this, she audibly gives a laugh out loud, and then continues on in your head. Like, she couldn't contain it, and then she continues on. She says, I've known my lady to deal punishment, but seldom, and not without great cause. The information you wish to give me of her, you speak as if I am a friend to her. I am not. She is so much more infinitesimally grand. Infinitely grand than I am. It's the opposite, yeah, I know. So much more infinitely grand than myself. I could not speak to her inner workings, and if you would wish to know them, I suggest you simply ask her yourself. But as for whether you can trust her, she is neither bound by law nor chaos. That was a mistake, if I may be so bold to say, of the previous wielder of her title. To my memory, I have only known my lady to attempt to do what is right. Whether or not you agree that it is up to those of you blessed with your free will.
Well, I will speak candidly. I did not tell the crew, as you know, that I had used and expended up the wish spell that this crew as a team had rightfully earned, and there was already a non-zero amount of guilt assigned with that. But the reason for my doing so is partly because if this were to backfire, I will be the only one to take the burden. I asked if she is trustworthy. I asked what kind of punishment she doles out, because if I were to do something against her cause, and she were to retaliate, I would hope that my actions mean that she retaliates against me and me alone. That is the reason why.
You are selfless, Master Vila. And you
I am
have
a contradiction.
great cause to fear,
I
but I think
very-
not from my lady.
Yeah. You said I think not for Mistra?
Yes,
Okay.
you are, yeah. You have much to fear, but I think not from my lady.
Yeah. Well, that's sort of been my modus operandi, and, well, point of order, I'm contradictory at best. I may be selfish, and I'm selfish in that I use the wish, as I said. And, again, we're embarking on a very dangerous mission, and they may think that we have a proverbial ace up the sleeve. If someone were to die, we only have Finbar. And only but once, I believe.
Well then, I suppose you will simply have to rise to the occasion.
Thank you. And I will see myself out.
It's like a 10 by 10 room, and she's giant, so she just kind of like squishes herself to the side so you can get out.
Pardon me. Sorry. I apologize. Alright. And then I'll go
Before
to
you go,
Stasis.
Master Vila,
Oh, yes.
she says, like, as you're out in the hallway, your choices are your own, as I've already said. But, as they say in some worlds, heavy is the head that wears the crown, or in this case, perhaps bears the ring. You have a great burden upon you.
As intended. Well, okay then. Have a good night. Have a good nondescript ambient dimming of the light around us.
The lights get turned down, so
Yeah.
in the distance you see some of the spots come into brighter, the brightness intensifies and the darkness floods through, indeed, to maintain the great balance of light and dark throughout this plane. Most of it gets dark as these few bright spots grow even brighter to compensate. Everyone can go ahead and take a long rest. Everyone's asleep.
Plug is not. He's patrolling. Thank you very much.
Plugs.
Interesting.
Plug sees Mistra.
Plug knows
Yeah.
everything that happens on this ship.
Roll
Yeah.
a dex save for Plug now.
Plug falls off the ship into just infinite mechanisms.
We just never know.
Oh.
Like, haven't seen
The
Plug in
day
a while.
comes. That's weird.
Huh.
Everyone looks at your pseudo dragon.
I made myself sad.
All right. I didn't see everyone. I didn't see nothing. Everyone
Spells are
comes.
prepped for the day.
Yep, everyone's good. Spells are prepped. Virla,
Yeah,
would you like to? Since, and I will say that in order for Emmy to be doing this successfully, you've got to be driving. So while someone else could drive, they would be flying proverbially blind.
Not so easy to say
Yeah.
words, is it?
Two small things. I
Wait,
wanna
does that apply if I mind link with Emmy?
I think that you could understand her, but she
Right.
wouldn't be like she's got a hardware set up into the
Oh, okay.
into
Okay.
the helm right now.
Gotcha.
I want to wake everyone up a little bit before the treats would have spoiled, lost their magicalness, so that
sure.
and convince them to eat it, so that they have 5 temper points at the start of the day.
Just wake up Finbar shoving a mushroom in your face.
Yeah.
Eat, Papa, eat.
Mushrooms
I
are a
would
friggin'
have,
tall ass
in
after
the morning,
last season.
prep a new batch of treats. So worst case scenario, I have the opportunity to give people more temporary hit points, if that's all right with the DM.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, reminder that you cannot add the temporary hit points, but you have
Right.
those treats in reserve for when people can take an action to eat them after they've already lost their temporary hit points.
Yes.
What do you
All
mean?
right, sounds good.
Perfect.
Lost our hit
And then the second thing is the color of the portal to Acheron is flame red.
There we go. This
Yeah.
flame red. There we go.
As opposed to Ruby. Red.
Ruby is the 9 health in general. So
There you go.
Yeah.
here's the thing: there's too many worlds for the amount of colors that exist, so you start getting stupid descriptors
It's like when a college
flame
tells
red
you that
versus
their
ruby
school
red.
color is scarlet instead of red, and it's like, I think we all know what the truth is.
Yeah.
The thing is, I actually did a color wheel of all of the planes at one point, and there's a heavy bias towards red and blue, and then like some browns, and that's it. There's like 2 greens total. Yeah. And it
Sort
also
of the
changes
opposite
depending
of
on
the
edition.
OSP philosophy.
We keep it simple.
One
we keep
red
it
and many
clean.
greens. All right, Virlo, you ready?
Let us embark.
Woo!
The ship sails forward. The humming from the pitchfork, the tuning fork increases. The prow of the ship hits the gear, and there's a brief moment, Virla, where you're like, oh god, this is a solid object I've just rammed this into. But instead it's more like hitting gelatin, and so you don't sail through easily, but there's a little resistance, and then you pass through, leaving Mechanus and entering to the second layer, Thuldanin. We're going to take a quick jaunt away from the crew of the Aspera. Inside of Thuldanin already, we see outside one of these giant metal cubes, which the crew are now familiar with Acheron. However, here the cube is even more pitted, like an extreme block of Swiss cheese than the torn open ones were in the layer above. This one even more riddled with holes and tunnels and ripped asunder as a result of we see just the entire thing being covered in rust. Like the whole thing is question whether there is any steel or whatever metal that makes it up even left there. The whole thing is just completely ruined in a structural sense. We enter through the tunnels, dark, and all of them surrounded just like garbage heaps of things fused to the rusting walls as these, various pieces of broken wood and masonry and siege engines and even piles of coin and stuff have completely themselves been overtaken with this rust fused to the sides to the point where viewer would think that indeed the whole floor is gone and has just been replaced with the stuff that was on the floor and hardened to it. It is here that we pick up and see a figure walking through these broken piles of detritus. Dom, do you want to go ahead and describe your character?
What? Secret guest star.
Oh my gosh, it's Dom. Oh wow.
Good timing.
What's up, everyone?
Hello.
Hi.
Howdy.
Welcome.
You thought it was a
Welcome to the
beautiful
shit
woman,
show,
but it was
Dom.
me, Dom, the whole time.
Who do we see walking through this trash heap?
Oh, well, you see a mostly humanoid-looking Warforge. He's sort of
Hell yeah.
fairly simple in design. He's got like he only appears to have like 1 to 2 expressions where he's permanently fixed in a smile most of the time. But a very unusual thing about him is he has 2 what look like speakers welded to either side of his torso. And he's
Bard? Warforged Bard?
He's a bard.
Mechanite. We haven't brought up Warforged being a thing. He's a Mechanite, but yes.
Mechanite Bard!
Right, yeah. So Mechanite. He's wearing leather armor that looks very out of place on him because it's several sizes too big and appears to have been stabbed in the past several times, which is now, so it's not so much wearing it, it's sort of tied onto him in strategic locations. And he's carrying a very, very fancy looking rapier.
This is very Stormhawks of you.
Yes.
Okay. Got it.
And we never find
So,
him. We just completely...
We just fly over.
Yeah.
He's like Broom Kid in Last Jedi. She's like, plot stuff. Okay, bye.
Opens a
Dom,
ring.
ever since
Reveals the podcast logo.
the shadow extends. Ever since your marooning here, since your literal boat smashed, and you didn't want to keep following the river for obvious reasons, you have just been kind of, first and foremost looking for a way out. But what happens is these cubes are floating in space and will occasionally bump into each other. So you've just kind of like, walked around a cube, one bumps into it, and you can kind of hop off onto the next one. It's slightly dangerous, but it's mostly doable. So this is like the 3rd cube, and you are currently just like poking your way through, trying to figure out if there's, something usable here or if there's a way out, I would ask if you would like to give me either a survival check of like searching around or an investigation of literally looking through the stuff. If you would please give me one of those.
Okie dokie. I've got equal things on both of those. Comes to a 19 for survival.
Woo!
No, investigation. I lied.
All right, very cool. Investigation, you are looking through and you start to see some patterns here that you haven't seen on other cubes so far since your marooning in Fulden.
Maroonination.
Maroonination, thank you. Since your maroonination in Fulden. There are what appear to be, they're mostly rusted over, but there are some that are slightly fresher, like gears. Some are about the size of your head, and then some are, we're talking like the size of like a cart, perhaps. And there's other various, like what look to be broken pieces of machinery and stuff here. And you're getting the sense that it's kind of coming from somewhere. There's a reason that what's here isn't just all entirely garbage at this point. So with that investigation, you begin following sort of the pattern. And as you do, you enter into towards the middle of the cube. The entire trip is a little bit tricky because these cubes all have a gravitational pull that goes inwards, but it shifts when you're on each face. It doesn't literally make any sense, but such is the physics of the lawful evil plane. So as you're walking through, like gravity shifts as you sometimes walk down corridors and you have to kind of like, spelunk your way through here. But as you come to what you understand to probably be like close to the middle, you see it kind of opens this big cavern that's been ripped or more likely just kind of rotted open in the middle here. And you go ahead and you're like following this trail. What is your passive perception?
Passive. 15.
You got a 15. Okay.
So do I see the Aspera sailing overhead?
No, you do not.
Okay.
We're stealthy.
Might be what we're spotting. Oh, sure.
You enter and you're sort of poking through, and you notice out of the corner of your eye there is some motion, and you're a ninth level adventurer. You're a fair badass. You know what's happening is right now there is at least one, more on the order of like 3 or more invisible figures that are like slowly moving around you, trying to get into surround you as you are currently like picking through this stuff. You see like a slight, some completely tarnished, ruined gold coins kind of like skitter to the side as a foot must hit them, and you see that vague blur, sort of Predator style, as a piece of scrapped war machinery, like an old catapult, kind of bends in and out of focus as the whatever invisible creature moves between you. Is there anything you would like to do? Because right now, fair assumption, they assume they have the drop on you from being invisible, but your passive perception is much higher than their stealth currently.
Okay. And am I surrounded to the point where I can't make a break for it?
You're starting to be. If you want to make a break for it, the time is going to be this moment.
I'm going to cast Dispel Magic.
Okay, you turn and pick... I think you can pick one magical effect. So you turn and throw a... What is your spellcasting for Dispel Magic look like?
Okay, well, this... what are they called? Mechanites?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You're a Mechanite, yeah.
What he does is he whips out what looks like a little punch card from his pocket with, those little dots in it, starts feeding it into a convenient slot on his chest, and his speakers start blasting out a pre-recorded musical number, which causes his spell to happen.
Royalty
we'll add it
free.
in post.
Something like jazzy, I think, in this case.
Real Bioshock.
Hell yeah.
The sounds of distant swords clanging and cubes ringing together is punctuated by the sweet dulcet tones of smooth jazz, and you see the figure that was sort of like circling in front of you, the most obvious one to your perception, comes into full view. You see a dwarf-shaped figure, a typical dwarf, so, short and broad shoulders, but they are completely purple, white eyes, white beard, snow white. They are wearing like a almost Roman centurion looking kind of outfit, like full helmet with the frill, big ass warhammer, and you completely surprise round catch this Dwargar off guard. That's I'm gonna say it's an action. Is there anything do you want to like try and run now as you see what you're up against? This like the white eyes go wide as clearly they weren't expecting you to have seen them and turn off the invisibility like that. Is there anything you want to do with a bonus action or movement in this, what I'm considering to be a surprise round?
No, I'm going to hold my action to see what he does first, and just address him, I guess.
All right, you do that, and then you see look of surprise, and then do you speak Undercommon?
No, Common and Infernal. That's my
perfect
repertoire.
You see points a hand at you, and then off to the left, and you hear what sounds to you like gibberish, just like a record player being played backwards. That's
Undercommon sounds like.
That's what I imagined Undercommon sounds like.
What?
And
Like backwards.
you hear.
Yep. Hello, I am Heleven. I am the former chief entertainer and hype man for Warlord Vice of the Wastelands of Hell. If you'll just give me one moment, I believe I have a spell for this. He fishes out another punch card, feeds it into his chest, and casts Comprehend Languages.
I believe Comprehend Languages is just for reading. So.
Is it?
Yeah, tongues is for
You
speaking.
understand the at first level you get any spoken language that you hear as well as reading.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. So maybe tongues is just speaking.
Tongues is being able to, I think, speak it, comprehend languages,
language
but
that
you
you
can
hear,
understand. Yeah.
You say that, cast tongues,
Or comprehend.
and you hear the backwards speak to your ears suddenly becomes common, and you hear this warlord shout, "Get behind them! We're bringing them in for scrap!"
Oh dear.
Roll initiative.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. Don't kill him. We haven't even met him yet.
That'd be real sad.
Okay, I know I'm
man.
burning through spells like crazy, but I'm just gonna be like, nope, and cast Dimension Door.
Yes.
Hold on. No, now we're rolling initiative. We're rolling initiative.
Okay, yeah,
so
that makes sense.
Get to,
Expeditious retreat.
Well, that was why I was holding my action.
you did the tongues.
Oh, that counts, right? Yeah,
Oh,
'cause
you
I
did
cast-
comprehend
you cast a
language,
couple spells
we're
already.
getting a
No,
lot
you're not wrong.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of actions in here. So, but yeah. But hey, you prevented them from getting the surprise round on you.
That's the
What are
big
Dwargar doing out here?
very
That would be a good question for your scribe.
probably for scraps. It's a scrap yard. They're pretty inventive.
Who wouldn't
people.
want to be
They're-
out here? I mean, it's like basically paradise.
Yeah, it's like basically. Yeah,
I love that this is the
exactly.
Danny
looks-
Beach episode, and for the
looks
rest
like
of us, it's like this
asbestos.
harrowing jaunt.
Danny's like playing the girl from Ipanema in her head the entire time. She's got her shades from the Beastlands back
Yep,
on, whipping
laid
out.
out on a deck chair with like that reflector for the tan.
Yeah.
It worked
Still
last
have a
time.
All right. Hell/Vice. What did you get for your initiative?
A big old 6.
6. All right. So that means almost everyone's going before you. What's your dexterity score?
Oh yeah, 15.
Okay, yeah. So you're gonna beat the Soul Blades who rolled the same number as you.
Oh wait, you brought out the beefy
Quite
stat blocks.
in
Okay.
surrounding
Blade?
Yes.
Soul Blade. I think that's like a psionics thing, but we're not metagaming.
Yeah. Let me show you guys what you're seeing. So, to
Helen Vice.
to dramatize what is happening right now.
full name?
It's pronounced Heleven. It's a.
Oh, sorry.
To put into context what's happening, the exact sequence of events, you have this conversation, you cast Comprehend Languages as you're explaining. You hear the warlord shout out to them, bring him, get him, we're bringing him for scrap. You immediately think, I need to cast Dimension Door and get out of here, except that you've just cast a spell, and you see now these invisible shapes are starting to move in at you. And then there's a sound like a ton of screeching metal as the gear that is off to your left seems to like rip open temporarily, and the bow of a ship sails through. The Aspera emerges in this dark light. It's difficult for anyone who doesn't have dark vision to see here. It's dim light, so not actual darkness, but in this dim light, you guys just make out that you've entered this huge cavernous space, rusted walls. Gears are sort of like sticking out at weird angles from the walls because they've been ejected and then just stuck on by rust at weird sort of angles. There's all sorts of ripped open, shredded pieces of what used to be like walls and battery and stuff like that all around. And you see what looks to be one Duragar warlord and one Mechanite squaring off in this space, who both turn surprised to look up at you. Can I get you guys to also roll initiative?
Heck yeah. Ah, same brain cell.
Mechanite.
Nish. Let's go.
Let's
Goodness,
use my...
I wonder who was driving that.
I just rolled a natural 20 on initiative. So every time that happens, it feels like a
Alright.
waste, though, you know?
Dani rolls a 22. Virla coming in at a 16. Red at a...
19.
Kyana at a 19. And Wally with Finbar at a big ol' 7.
Yeah.
You love to see it. All right. I mean, technically, Dani, you're up as like all this happens. Everything's happening simultaneously. Dani, you are up first. You see the scene. Is there anything you want to do? I don't know how clear it is to Dani exactly what's happening here. And with your wisdom, you definitely can't tell that there's a bunch of invisible assassins surrounding him. But yeah, it does look like there's two people having a conversation down there.
Can I make a perception check to see if there's any interesting junk around us anywhere and just use that as my action?
Dang.
That's cold.
Yes, you can.
Sorry, Dom. I gotta be true to
Oh,
character.
fuck me, I guess.
That is a 16.
And what was the check again?
Perception, just to see if there's anything really interesting around in the junk, in the scrap.
Well, everything is what you see. You take in this room, you see the wall behind you where it looks to be the exact gear you just passed through, except this one is a completely rusted out, ruined one. The entire floor, like I said, seems to be, as you look, just like old gears and stuff stacked on top of each other, rusted together to the point where it's, you could probably stand on it. There's, you see, there looks like, there's some catapult and, what's the, balustrade? Mangonel? There's, war siege weapons
Ballista.
that appear to be entirely carved out of stone here.
Ooh.
And, yeah, that's what a 16 perception is going to get you
Cool.
going on right now.
And just because I see that there's people...
Oh, actually, with a 16, use your action. So 16 perception also gets you that this dude is being, you see there are a bunch of other invisible shapes surrounding the Mechanite, and that dude's definitely getting ambushed.
I'll yell to the other crew, "We got company!" And then I'm going to run up to the front of the ship where the flamethrower is.
Oh, right, the
Hell
flamethrower.
yeah.
Oh God.
All right, you run up to the front of the ship.
I already used my action, so I can't use it this turn, but I'll just get into position to potentially use it if needed.
Yeah, you totally get into the ship. That is awesome.
I'm sitting on the flamethrower, and we'll see what happens.
All right, Dani, you sit in the flamethrower. That does give you half cover, I think. The stats should be in the prosperous stats that I shared earlier today. Kyana, you're up.
Yeah. How high up are we? Just out of curiosity.
You are not far from the ground. So
Okay.
how high is the ship? I'd say you're about 30 feet from the ground.
Okay.
Your masts are basically scraping the bottom here.
Whoa. Well, hope we can figure out a way to get out of this cave thingy.
There is a hole. The entrance, which is fairly wide, that Hleven came through, is in front of you.
Perfect.
If you fly straight, you will get out.
All right. Well, if I need to slow fall, I can slow fall. Let's see. My passive perception is also 15. Can I just be like, oh, there's like predator dudes squaring up on that guy?
You grok them. Yeah, they have advantage because they're invisible and they rolled a 3 and a 5. So
Okay, great.
they're actually not killing it. Part of the problem is that they are invisible, but there's just so much dust from the rust. Like flakes kick up wherever they step, and you can kind of make out the outline of their boots where it's kind of like there's flecks of the red and orange there. So
Cool. Okay. Well, and I can see that one of them is a Dwergar, right? Because I actually know what those are.
Ooh.
you do know what they are.
Yeah.
You do see one of them as Duragar, and you're guessing, because you know they can turn invisible innately, that you're guessing that's a whole posse.
Great. We're in a rare situation where I'm going to immediately assume who the bad guy is. Let's go! All right. I'm going to get the... Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm going to do my classic maneuver. I'm going to jump off the ship towards the one that I
Fantastic.
can see. And when I get near him, I'm going to use my action to summon the arms of the astral self, which I think is my action. It might be my bonus action. Let me check. Oh, yeah, sorry, bonus
it's your
action.
bonus, but yeah, but with an action to move and then a bonus action to summon,
Do
you
I
can
need an
totally
action
do
to
that. You
move?
got plenty of speeds. What's your speed?
Oh, please hold.
Because he's 60 feet away from you right now.
Ah, yes, my walking speed is 45 feet, so I can use
Cool.
my dash,
So-
my dash action to close the distance, and then
Yeah, and you know what? I'm going to go ahead and say keep your reaction, because with the dash action, you have plenty of speed. I'm going to allow you to just run down with your boots of spider climb, you can just run down one of the masts.
perfect.
That kind of goes off. So
Oh.
by using your dash, it gives you 90 feet of movement. That's plenty to run down the mast, get onto the ground, and get wherever you would like. So go ahead and it's this dude here that's... Oh, I can't ping. It's this dude here that's standing right in front of Eleven,
Okay.
right
let me
there.
just get-
So you can run down and do what you're going to do.
Give me just a second. Okay. Yeah, it did nothing, and then it did everything all at once on my end, so we're good. Where's the guy? Where's 11? Aha, I see him. Okay.
Down on the right here. Yeah.
Yep. All right.
It's a
we
big
got
map.
This. So let me just grab and.
This is a big
pop.
map.
Pop, 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 boop, 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 boop. And then whoop, hello, and pop out the arms of the astral self, which I gotta everything's. In
I
different
will
places.
say, but it's a 10-foot radius, right?
It is, yes. I didn't.
If you-
Okay, yeah, I
you
don't need to
can-
get that
You
close
can
to him.
perceive all these guys, so if you want to hit 3 people, you could stand 1 space up, and you'd be
Ooh.
within range of 3 of them.
Yeah, let's do that. Let me just pop. There we go.
All right.
Perfect. Okay. Then I bonus action pop out the arms of the astral self, and I also do the face because that way I can see in the dark. So it's just a second key point for
Perfect. Yeah,
that.
you got to be right there, but otherwise, yep, there you go. You're good.
Perfect. Let me just pop
As
down
you-
a couple key points.
11, you get ready. Shit, you can tell shit's about to go down, and you begin to bring up your hands for casting Dimension Door. This woman, short on the short side, golden hair,
Thanks.
wearing glimmering purples, just runs speedily down a mast. There's a mast at an angle. There's 3 masts on this ship. One going straight up and 2 going out at angles like this. What is the Star Wars ship that has the like?
Oh, like the Imperial
Uh,
shuttle.
Isn't
Yeah,
that a
exactly,
Y-wing?
yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Or,
yeah,
oh,
Uh,
never mind.
You know what? I'm not the guy to ask. Runs down one of those without any danger, maneuvers around the invisible guys you could tell were there, and immediately amber energy bursts from her body as 2 massive clawed arms stretch out, and her entire physique is covered in this glowing light. Okay, so the bad news is that I rolled a 20, a 19, and a 20 naturally on the
Hot
saving throws,
dang.
dex saves for those
Son of a
guys.
bitch.
So that's all. They're all gonna save.
That's a shame. Oh well.
Dang.
Okay. Well, I'm good. So that was my movement, my action, my bonus action, and since I didn't need to use my reaction, I'll just hold on to that. So that's my first round done. Yes?
As you are wont to do. That is correct. All right.
Don't worry, sir. I've handled these before.
Hello.
What is the range on the soul knife? Just 5 feet? All right, I guess he's not doing that. Cool. The warlord is up. He's going to... Oh, you speak Undercommon, don't you,
I do.
Kyana? So in the Undercommon talk, you hear him bark out, "Close ranks, deal with the newcomers, bring down that ship. This one's mine," and is going to
Which one? Which one's mine?
walk up to you, Kyana, and just unleash 3 psychic attuned warhammer attacks on
I'm the one that's mine. Oh, I resist those. Well, we'll deal with that when we deal with it.
There's some bludgeoning damage in there, but here we go. First attack
Yeah, huh?
is a 22 to hit.
That will hit.
Second attack is another 22 to hit.
That'll still hit.
Good rolls so far. The last attack is just a 15.
That will not hit.
Stupid Austin doesn't know stat blocks. It's okay. Austin's bad. We'll deal with that going forward. So that is going to be... Let's go. They deal 1d10 bludgeoning and 1d10 psychic. So, and I'll give that to you separate so that you can have it. So the
Thanks.
bludgeoning is 10 bludgeoning,
Ow. Wait, total?
and yes,
Or for the first... Okay, cool.
10 bludgeoning, and no, not total. That's the first hit.
Oh, he's got a bonus to. Okay.
So it's 10 bludgeoning and 1 psychic, which cannot be halved. Sorry.
So I just take the 1. Never mind.
You just take 1.
Ouch.
When they
brain.
resist damage, just roll 1s all the way through.
Yeah.
They can't have that. Second attack is 11 bludgeoning.
Ouchies.
And 6 psychic, halved to 3.
Okay, so that's 14 total. Ow.
And
Okay.
that is both attacks that hit.
Great. I'm going to use my reaction to telekinetic reprisal him.
Sweet, and that's just the one person who hit you, right?
Yes.
What
It's
is that,
force the
strength
creature
save?
to make a strength saving throw. DC 17.
Pretty good at these, but not high enough.
Okay, then he's going to take the full 2d8 damage and is pushed
He
10
would've
feet
moved
away from me.
into-
All right, that's 7 force damage.
7 force damage, not bad. They do not resist that. The first hammer blow comes through. You don't expect the force. The second one comes over the shoulder, and both arms come up. You feel the brunt of it come through, but then you shove him off.
I'm
what's
sorry,
up?
I don't want to metagame, just for future reference.
Yeah.
Could I have done that
What's up?
on the first attack and then not taken the second attack because he would have been out of range? Or would
He
just
would have
moved?
walked back up into
Oh,
range with you.
okay. That would have been a
so
little embarrassing.
narratively, it's all good.
Okay.
You shove him off though, and the third attack that he swings just goes wild as he skids through, and heels just dig through a bunch of flaking up metal.
But if he had used his full movement during that, would have prevented all the rest of the attacks. So
Yeah, he didn't. He only needed to move 10 feet to get in.
Yeah, because
range
I
of
got
her,
close
so.
to whammy him. Okay, cool.
And then he's gonna use bonus action to grow to size large.
Oh, that's
You
nice.
see, gives a chance,
Oh.
gives a pound on the chest, and grows to about 12 feet tall, which is pretty big for a dwarf.
DM, does
And-
Virla see that, and is it a wizard spell?
Oh yeah.
Enlarge is a wizard spell. What's the range on? I think Emmy. I think it's
yeah.
counterspell range. I think it has to be 60 feet.
Okay, well,
Yeah,
no,
it's a little out of range. Sorry.
Dang. All right.
Counterspell 60 feet, right? It should be the same.
Yes,
It should be
60
the
feet.
same distance. Yeah. So, unfortunately, not quite. But you, spoiler, you might get another opportunity on that one.
You don't say.
Speaking of Virla, you're up.
So just to get me on
You
the
are
same
sitting
page.
in the helm currently.
Yeah. Who can I see? Just the warlord right
What
now?
is your passive perception?
Right. 17.
Cool. Yeah, so
Whoa.
all of them, this one is visible, the big warlord. The rest of them are still invisible, but you can tell where they are, which means attacks
Awesome.
against them would have disadvantage, but you know where they are, so you can target them.
Excellent.
They're not
All right.
hidden to you.
I will use my movement
mechanate, I
to
see.
position to not really move the Aspera, but just rotate it so that the flamethrower, but it's a 5-foot flamethrower, so it has to be. Can I move it to be in like this kind of angle here? Basically, trying to get these two Duragard
Give me a
at the
sec.
bottom. And I don't know how much movement that is, but I have 90 feet of movement.
The ship is going to have plenty of movement to rotate like that.
Okay,
You're going to have to be like 90-degree angle.
that's fine.
I
Yeah, if I can
think.
do that.
Okay. So yeah, so we'll go ahead and snap you guys there.
Ah.
And the ship rotates around. You want to hit these guys or the ones lower
The lower
down?
ones.
Okay, so the ship moves down like this.
Yeah.
80 feet. I'm gonna say that's fine because
Yeah, 'cause I see,
the bow doesn't really move that far, so we'll just consider rotation to be sort of free movement.
okay.
Because I see Dani clamber into the scramble.
Scramble
Talking
or
is
clamor?
hard sometimes. Everyone who laughed
Scramble.
at me during the promo section of this podcast.
So
Yeah,
that's
we're
my
still gonna
movement.
laugh at you.
And it's
That's
not
my
like we do
movement.
it
That's
for
my
a
bonus
living or
action.
anything.
I'll get Bing out, and I'm just gonna putting Bing in. But yeah, sure. Through him, I will cast at 5th level Synaptic Static.
Ooh.
Oh.
Okay.
20-foot radius sphere. So I wanna put it where I can get everyone that isn't.
You can't get these two guys all the way down south
why-
that you've lined up,
yep.
but you can get everyone else.
Yep. So I'll basically like
So
here.
that's 4 dudes.
Yep. So,
Okay, so that's an intelligence saving throw.
Yep. Intelligence saving throw, DC 16.
All right, we're gonna roll. I got 3 dice. So we're gonna roll We're gonna roll the alchemist and the 2 soul blades, and then we're gonna roll the warlord by himself.
I think they're smart, but I kind of want to try this anyway.
Yeah, some of them are smart, some of them not so much. The alchemist does get a 19.
Okay.
But I think the other ones did not do so well. Intelligence 0, 11, and 14.
Okay, awesome. Well, first off, target takes 8d6 psychic damage, or half as much on a successful one.
Nice.
Okay, so give me the full, and I'll go. Oh, I gotta roll the warlord as well. Hold on, sorry. Warlord gets a nat 20. So
Okay.
Yeah.
the full effect goes through to 2 soul blades. The warlord and the alchemist are just gonna take half damage.
Okay, so
So
26
that's 26.
to the soul blades and 13 to the other 2.
Do you have any way of increasing that damage at all?
No.
Okay.
If I
both
had another
soul
5th level
blades
spell,
have-
I can make it lightning, and then I could use my elemental adept to up that 1. But it's not. I don't have a 5th level lightning, so
Both soul blades have 1 hit point.
Ooh.
cool.
Nice.
Additionally, after a failed save, a target has muddled thoughts for 1 minute. During that time, it rolls a d6 and subtracts the number rolled from all its attack rolls and ability checks, as well as its constitution saving throws to maintain concentration. Target can make an intelligence saving throw at the end of each turns, ending the effect on a success.
Cool.
But
How
it
much
doesn't
do they how much are sorry, say it again. How much are they subtracting from their rolls?
A d6.
Okay, so they each need to make they all need to make concentration checks for their invisibility and for the enlarge. So
Only
what
on a
was it,
failed
20
save.
So the
Only on a failed
warlord
save.
doesn't.
So just the soul
Well,
blades.
they took damage, so they all need to make concentration
Oh,
checks.
sure.
But the minus d6 is only. So he actually succeeds even with the minus d6.
Wow, hardy.
This dude big fails. The alchemist just rolls straight. Alchemist stays invisible. And let's see if this dude stays enlarged. Not the d6, just the... Oh, nope. This dude is no longer enlarged.
Awesome.
We can make a joke about that, but we won't because this is a family show.
Is it?
It's
It is?
really not.
Anyway, fuck this guy.
Virla, a fantastic turn. Bing appears again. Helevin, I have to express what looks like a BB-8, just a glowing sphere of arcane energy appears next to you, and then there is a snap and like static kind of fills the area you're in. It bends around you, but hits all these other Duragar, even ones you couldn't see. You see the ones one of them comes out of invisibility, like grabbing its head. The warlord in front of you shrinks down as blood starts to pour from its nose.
Ugh.
And
Goodness
yeah, you got a pretty
gracious.
good. You got a pretty good sense of what these guys can do. It is the alchemist's turn. The alchemist is going to go. How far is he from the ship now?
He's going for the ship.
20. You see he reaches into a bag and pulls out what looks like, it's not an egg, it's like, because it's even, it's like a cylinder, but it's rounded. Kind of like a big salami.
Oh,
Or like a
great.
pill.
Okay.
It's like a big pill, yeah, it looks like a big pill. It's about this big, like
Salami.
what are those speakers that you can buy?
But like the
Beats?
bows,
Beats by
like
Dre.
Yeah, exactly. It looks like that.
Yeah.
But it's made of metal and it's got like little jewels going around it. You see he twists something on it. One of the jewels lights up, and then he just chucks it.
It is a pipe bomb. Shit.
His action is he's going to apply the bomb. He just throws it. It hits the side of the ship, sticks, and then it starts to make a beeping noise as more gems light up going
Oh,
around.
that's
sick. That's really cool.
Yeah, so he's that's his entire action, and does he get a bonus action? He does not. His enlarges an action, so that's his whole thing. He's gonna try and take down your ship. Finbar.
What a dick.
Okay. I was gonna do one thing, but
They're not nice guerrilla warriors.
okay.
They could be.
As an action, can I jump off the side of the ship and try to grab the bomb off
Finbar, no!
of the hull?
It would be you can use your movement, and then it's going to be your action to make an athletics check. This is like this is just a skill check. So it's going to be your action to make. Actually, I'll allow athletics. I feel like I always say athletics when it really should be strength, but I'm going to allow athletics. What you're attempting is high risk, high reward.
Yeah,
that's what I'll say.
That's it's not
So-
in Finbar's nature, though. Okay, he will
It's
Jump.
in Wally's nature.
It is. Yes. I will jump off the side of the ship, regardless.
Okay.
All
And
right.
you know what? There's a mast right around there, so go ahead and make me an acrobatics check. We'll see if maybe
Sure.
you can kind of do a hop down to avoid taking any damage here.
It's not great. It's 14.
And this is how
Sorry,
he
yeah.
dies.
I think we're gonna roll some fall damage.
Sure.
You gotta tuck and
as-
roll over the shoulder, diagonal
That's
across
fine.
the back.
As I land, there's gonna be like a puff of smoke, and as it dissipates, I will have activated my starry form.
Okay,
and I will
you take 7
activate the
points of
shells.
bludgeoning damage and then burst into light.
Cool. 7 points damage.
Everyone here is very interesting.
And then as an action, I will cast Wither and Bloom.
Yes.
Yes, so faithful.
And as I'm moving towards Kyana, some of the dust starts following me, and it flies all the way over to the Dwargar within 10 feet of Kyana. So
That's
and,
3 of them.
and they will have to make con saves.
Okay.
DC 17.
Amazing. Soul Blades are gonna make con saves, one of them with a minus d6. And their constitution is nothing. You guys suck.
Ha.
3 for the first one,
Womp womp.
8 for the second, and then let's go ahead and do my Warlord, who doesn't subtract anything. He gets over a 20.
Okay. I believe he still takes half of this though. So you see sort of the rust in the area sort of like burrow into their skin, and they take 8 necrotic damage or 4 on a save.
Okay.
And then one creature in the area can spend a hit dice to regain hit points. So Kyana, you can spend a hit dice right now.
Hey, yeah. Which I think is a.
Very
Oh
cool.
wait, does it have to be my monk hit die, or can it be my
Nope.
barbarian
You
hit
could be
die?
any of your hit dice, just make sure you mark off that it's spent.
Roger
Yes.
that.
Nice.
You see the rust digs in and siphons. It almost moves through the ground and up into Kyana. Kyana, you feel reinvigorated. Finbar, you also feel reinvigorated since you have killed a creature reduced its creature 0 hit points in Avernus. Sorry, in Fuldenin, in Acheron. You get half of your max HP as temporary hit points. So
Nice.
Whoa.
this lasts, of course, until you take a short rest.
Oh.
Okay, well, it's good for you guys, but it's also good for bad guys if they happen to do it. So
If they
I'm just gonna
manage to
point that
kill
out.
us, yeah.
Okay. I just got 42 temporary hit points.
Yeah, Finbar, you do
Oh,
that,
right.
and you feel the bloodlust of Avernus. Why do I keep saying Avernus? Of Acheron, like seeping into you.
They're
like,
so
that,
distinct.
That felt good, and in fact, the effect is a little bit stronger here. Can I get you to make a Wisdom saving throw?
Oof. Okay. All right. Here we go.
Oh boy.
Natural 19.
yeah.
you're good.
Okay.
You still get that kind of rage, but it doesn't. You're not seeing red.
Cool. Ooh, I get a D8 from the chalice. Nobody is in range, so I will use that D8 on myself just to top me off. And that is my turn.
All right, it is the no, it's Eleven's turn because you have a higher dexterity. Dom, what you gonna do?
Is the bomb still attached to the ship, or has that been taken care of now?
Bomb's still attached
I'm
to
still
a
on the
ship.
ship.
Oh boy. Okay, well, first of all, I'm going to use my bonus action to
hey. You ain't slick. Knock that off.
use my bonus action to throw in a new punch card into my chest slot and turn to my nearest rescuer, which I suspect is
Me.
It's Kyana right there.
Kyana, and say that was very impressive. I shall play a song in your honor and give her inspiration.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
Hey,
what's it
thanks.
called?
Bard.
Of the
Bard,
noble
Bardic
kind.
inspiration.
Bard.
It's a D8 or a D10. It should say on your character sheet.
D8.
Woo.
D8. All right. So go
What
ahead
does
and mark you got a
what does
D8
the song
inspiration.
sound like?
Yeah, sing for us, Dom. Or beatbox.
Hey, no.
It's like
Come
a
on, guys.
really, really good song. Trust me. It's like if Lin-Manuel Miranda were writing like a song about
It's a
Cola.
rap.
So then he's going to use a
Amazing.
cantrip and
like
cast
the bad
Mage
guys.
Hand and try and
Okay.
pick the bomb off the side of the ship because like I'm going to need that to escape.
The ship, not the bomb.
That's a pretty good point. But the bomb, the hand can only move 5 pounds, which this bomb is adhered to.
Yeah,
it. let's say, go ahead and give me. You're gonna give me a D20 plus your charisma, so it's probably plus a 3 or plus 4. What's your charisma
4.
modifier? Plus 4. Okay, so you're gonna give me a D20 plus 4, but you're gonna do it at disadvantage.
Okay. That's with disadvantage. That's a 14.
14 is not quite enough as you start to kind of pull.
Damn.
You can first off. Here's what I'll let you know for that. First off, it's adhered. And it's probably going to take a good amount of strength to pull this off. The second thing is that you can also tell from your mage hand that the entire thing is locked. It's a locked box right now. So this is a there's stuff on the inside you can get to, but it's currently locked. So
This could be a
that
problem.
is.
I can get to it next turn, but
I have an idea as well while we're on the list of people who are thinking about the bomb.
Okay, well I think that's all I got.
Danny's always thinking about the bomb.
Just let it blow up. I want to see
The thing
Austin's new mechanics.
No.
No.
That's the devil talking.
All right, it is the Soul Blade's turn. The warlord.
Aren't they dead?
There's more. The warlord touches nose, pulls away from the hand, with that blood running on it, and is going to shout out a command. I'm trying to think of how a military command would go like this because they're very militaristic. All right, close ranks, all hands to arms, and these two guys are going to move 5, 10, 15, 20, 25.
Uh-oh.
5, 10, 15, 20,
buds.
25. That's as much speed as they got. And then really, really super quick, guys over here had total cover and thus were not noticed.
There's more
And
of them.
they are going to move 25 as well. They're actually going to take their action to dash, and that's only going to get them 25 because they got to go around the. You actually did a pretty good thing here because the Paraspera's in their way, and there's a big wall that's covering them. So in order to go over the wall, they got to crawl. So they're climb. So they're going to go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and that's as far as they can get. That's even with an action dash because they're at half speed. But the other ones are going to attack. Let's go ahead and see what our Soul Blades can do. Bonus action, they are going to both enlarge.
Oh.
Yeah.
Fortunately, they can't get to flanking. You see these two just swell up into these giants. And 11, we're going to see how tough you are. So they each make one attack.
Well, hello, big boy.
The first is a 10 to hit, which I'm pretty sure is not going to.
Dink.
But
Who are they attacking?
You, I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, that 10 won't do it.
And then the second one, that fell on the floor. So we're going to get a new dice.
Oh, that's more people dropping dice? What is going on?
22 to hit.
That will do it.
All right, that is going to be 17 force damage. They only get one attack each, but you see it manifests it doesn't pull a blade from a sheath. It closes its hand and a blue psionic dagger made of just like mind powers extends from its grasp, and as it stabs into you, it doesn't cut, it just enters your body and your brain feels like it's on fire.
Ugh, these
Well,
guys.
Well, you guys are about to see the second party trick then, because the second that Heleven is injured, he stumbles backwards and spark starts flying out from his neck area. And it's like, oh dear, and his head. Okay, the best way I can describe this is have any of you guys ever seen those Power Ranger action figures where if you pull the switch on the back, the head flips 180 degrees to show another head that was
Like Blitzwing from Transformers Animated.
This isn't directly related, but I do have a Transformer on my desk as we speak. He doesn't
Why
have
did
that.
you just stab that?
I got it for Christmas. He doesn't even have one face, but like I get the vibes.
Fair enough. Well, yeah. So his
chest,
Heleven's chest cavity opens up, and his head flies backwards. Pivots on a horizontal bar across his neck, and a new head flips up to take its place. And this new head is completely different than the vibe you have for the rest of his body. It's modeled on like a Spartan helmet on the outside. There's a sort of a face on the inside that's a lot more expressive than Heleven's before, and the expression it's showing is pure rage and malevolence. And it sort of bellows out, "You dare touch me, you pathetic creature!"
Oh.
Barbarian?
Y'all right back there?
heck. Yeah.
Shut up.
You see these two Tweedledee and Tweedledum just jacked up dwarves just like both stop and look at each other and look back at you very confused. And then they let out a simultaneous and they're gonna get ready to attack again. That's the end of their turn though, so they can't. That is their entire go. You're a new person and it's Dani's turn.
Okay. This isn't exactly how the spell works, but do I get the sense that like how the bomb is on the ship, is it like latched on or is it just sort of like stuck?
I would say it's like a mechanical latching sort of situation.
Okay, so like grease wouldn't like break the bond between it and the ship necessarily.
No.
Okay.
You do love trying to get grease to be
just
more
such
than a first
good
level spell.
and it's only useful for slipping people. It feels like it should be
It's
so
the
much
one
better
that she
than that.
wants. Do.
But it really shone in that
It's
first
just
episode.
it's such a good spell. It just does so little, is what you just said. Anyway, stop worrying. Go love the bomb. Come on.
Come on, man.
How much does the bomb weigh?
I would guess
More than 5
that-
pounds, can confirm.
Yeah. Well, it's not. It also wasn't just you lifting it. It was the fact that it was adhered on. So you're trying to do a strength check with your mage hand, which isn't really made to do strength checks. That's why I asked you to roll at disadvantage. How much does it weigh? That's a good question. I would say that it's about as much as like one of those boat speakers.
I guess
you know?
more or less than 5 pounds.
Like
is
more
the
than a
question I'm
gallon of
looking
milk,
for.
but it's not too heavy to carry.
Less than 5
One of those
pounds?
one grocery trip days.
More than 5 pounds?
Let's go ahead and we'll say it's 5 pounds. I'm actually curious, how much does a jug of milk weigh?
Come on, man.
Not 5 pounds.
More
We
than
have time
5
for this
pounds,
rabbit hole.
surely.
So I guess the technical
Why-
question is, would you say that it is currently being worn or carried by the ship? Or is it latched on?
What are you trying to do? Stop trying to just let me know so I can
If I
make a
were to
ruling.
use it as the projectile in a catapult spell to get it off of the ship.
Yes. Yes. Love it.
That's so smart.
Oh my god, that's incredibly good. Okay, it fits the criteria, but it's adhered to the ship. So there's gonna have to be something else on top of here to try and get something that's held down to fly. Because it's not being worn or carried specifically, but it's definitely stuck to the side.
Choose?
So I'm gonna go ahead
Only you
and
had
say...
that universal solvent.
No!
Oh man, it's such a good idea. It's such a good idea. I wanna give it a shot. Go ahead and roll me. This is just, you're just trying to beat the DC that the strength check would hit, but there's going to be no modify. It's just going to be your intelligence, no proficiency. because
Gotcha.
The spell isn't meant to do this, so proficiency is not added. Just go ahead and roll D20 plus 4 for you.
Okay. 18.
18 is exactly what you needed. You son of a bitch.
Nice.
So where are you flinging
Oh,
it?
this is such a... I was so hung up on making it work that I forgot to even think about the possible trajectory of this bomb. Okay, so what side of the ship is it on this map? Like,
It's currently on the port side, so that would be the top side for you guys.
okay. Could I send it
And it's
flying
kind of near.
to
It's
that...
kind of near where Finbar is. It's nearest the bow.
Could I send it flying to that nice little lineup of dudes over on the left?
You absolutely can.
Goes
Go
90
ahead and pick
feet.
one. What? 90 feet. Okay, so let's just do our due diligence here.
Yeah, it's about-
you can
yeah,
definitely
yeah.
hit any of them. So pick one. It's gonna hit.
Let's go for this bad boy that's like towards not the first one farthest away, but the next one in. So it's kind of in the middle.
Okay, so second one's gonna make a dex save.
Yeah.
We're gonna resolve the catapult hitting him, and then we're gonna resolve the bomb.
Yes. So he makes a dex save on a failed save. The
7.
7? Oh, that's a failure because it's DC 17. So the object strikes the target and stops moving, and he takes 3d8 bludgeoning damage.
This is an artificer spell, so he takes an additional.
Takes 4d8 bludgeoning damage.
Okay,
The
go ahead and roll.
object and what it strikes takes
Got
that
it.
damage.
Oh.
Bomb also takes
Yes.
this.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Well,
This.
that's
This is
20 points of bludgeoning damage to him. and
You
the
didn't
bomb.
quite kill him outright.
Oh, that
Well,
would have
there's
been
still the bomb.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
So the bomb is a delayed blast fireball.
Oh my god.
So, Wally, what's the radius on fireball?
I got that.
It's 20 feet?
Yeah.
It's 20 feet.
How many of us are stuck in it?
You just
just
it
missed
just
Hit the
misses.
Aspera as well.
It is?
Virla, I'm going to need you to make a dex save on the Aspera.
Wait, Sophia,
you're
did you do
proficient-
6 or 7?
She hit this guy,
the-
I'm pretty sure.
No, I hit
Durgard,
this
6
guy.
or 7?
I'm too far zoomed out because I have to record the screen to see the numbers. But no, Austin, the other one in the
I
middle.
see.
7.
7.
Oh, you hit this one? 7?
Yeah.
7, 8, 9. All right.
Then Paraspera's out of range.
Well, he's got 7. Paraspera's out. Okay, okay. Let me double check on delayed blast fireball. Make sure it's not bigger.
Multi-kill.
I thought I wrote this down.
I don't know why I said that. I did actually want to see if like a mishap
has
happened.
1d6. Yeah, I didn't write the range. All right. Delayed blast fireball. 20-foot radius. Yeah.
That's the same as regular
A
fireball.
20-foot radius. Okay. Yeah. So, I can't believe this is gonna work in your favor.
How
That
long
is-
has
that
this
is
been
so
going?
smart.
I love
Sophia.
this plane.
Okay, so I don't think we're gonna be. Okay, hold on. So they all have to make a dex save, but the base is, I believe starts at 12d6 damage. So we're gonna go ahead and /roll 12d6. That's 37 points of fire damage to every single one of them.
Amazing.
This one is killed outright, even if whether he saves or not. 7. Okay, so you go ahead. This bomb detaches, goes, clocks this guy in the head, forehead immediately. The head snaps back. It spins a little. All the lights go, and it blows up. it was going to increase damage with every round it was stuck to. And
Play of the game.
Just
put some quick deck saves
You
from them.
Junkrat
It's a DC
tired
18.
them.
Fail. It's cocked. Fail. Yep, they're all dead. Dani, you take half of your hit points, hit point maximum in temporary hit points.
Amazing. So what's 45 halved? Oh, no, wait.
22.
22.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I also need to make a wisdom saving throw.
Ooh. Not good.
You're gonna get so many fucking temp HP.
We don't know how much they stack.
Natural 20.
Natural 20. Okay,
No
you resist the
fucking way.
bloodlust.
-1, so 19.
Kyana,
Yeah, boy.
Finbar's like on the ground. He sees this bomb detached from the ship. He's like, they're dead.
that's a fucking play of the game moment right there.
That
That's
was incredible,
amazing.
yeah. I think it was behind me, though.
All right, so I'm gonna throw out that whole skill challenge I had for disarming the bomb. Kyana, you're up.
Rip.
Danny is,
Okay, well,
yeah.
I don't want to take more.
Loving this plane.
Yeah, I don't want to take more bludgeoning damage. So, along with that and the other stuff that's been happening, I'm going to enter a rage.
There
Which
we
I'm
go.
Okay.
sure will not stack weirdly with the fun effects of this dimension that I don't know about yet.
I would say it's giving you good vibes. You feel
Yeah,
right to
this
enter a
feels
rage
really
here.
good. I'm learning to cut loose and just sort of like feel things out, and I see only good things resulting from this. So I've got the arms out. I've got my rage bonus, so I'm going to attack the warlord because
Okay.
he's in front of me and
Yep. You got
wanted
10
to
feet of
attack
reach,
me
so
first.
you can do it.
Yep. All right. So first attack, just flat. Oh, cool. 26.
Yeah, that's gonna hit.
Okay.
That's gonna hit. Good AC too. 26 is not 26 good.
Okay. So d6 plus 5 and then plus 2 for the rage. So d6 plus. Oh. Okay. Well, that's 9 points of force damage on the first attack.
Okay.
And for the second one. Oh, I wish we critted on 19s in this system. 28 to hit.
Should have been a champion.
Dang. You know, if we were 3.5, it's fine. It's fine. That's another 9 points of force damage.
All right. That's 2 attacks, and you entered range with a bonus action.
Yeah,
so, and you
exactly.
made sure you added your rage damage to bonus
I
damage
did.
to each of those.
Yeah,
Okay.
because it's normally plus 5, now it's plus 7.
you just rolled like shit.
Yes, I rolled 2 2s. Thank you. Thank you. It's
Wow.
the dice giveth, and they taketh away.
The amber light coalesces around you. Is Kyana like a battle cry kind of person?
Now that I'm raging, maybe just a little, just for fun.
Just a little.
Just a little. I mean, it's just like a kiai, but, less formal. Anyway.
You see one comes on the chin. Warlord cracks the head back. Bah! And he's gonna come back at you.
Yeah!
All right. And Large has gone it.
He's so small now.
So tiny.
Is he taller than me? We gotta be fair about this.
Don't think so.
Cool.
I thought about using my action to slap him with a reduce spell just to kind of be a little petty about it,
Yeah.
but I think the catapult was a better move. Overall.
Sorry, let me double check the.
What's the casting time on Shrink? How viable is it in a combat situation?
I think it's absolutely viable. That was going to be my solution, to shrink the bomb.
Oh, that would have been so
the
cute.
Warlord moves into melee with you, and instead shouts out, lets out a battle cry. Right, to the point where you can all hear and look, and then stop short. He's going to use his action to use call to attack. Up to 3 allies within 120 feet are going to use their reaction to make 1 weapon attack. So each of the Soul Blades is going to attack, and the Alchemist is also going to attack. All right, so Soul Blade against Heleven.
I think
That's
this
a
might be the
16 to
other
hit.
guy.
Or sorry, yes, against Vice. 16 to hit Vice.
That would hit, but I'm going to use Shield as a reaction.
Woo!
Oh,
It's a favorite
All right.
spell of this campaign.
There we
so
go.
good.
And the second attack from that Soul Blade is going to be a natural 1.
Hey.
Pew, 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 pew. And then the Alchemist is going to shoot Alchemist Fire at Kyana.
What? Oh, tell me that's a
Don't
dex
worry about
save.
It's an attack roll.
Tell me it has a dex save?
Nope.
Okay.
16 to hit you.
That will miss.
You sidestep as this glob of kind of green gel goes past you, smacks onto a gear, and begins to sizzle and burn. You get the sense that would have been some ongoing damage had it hit.
Good to know.
Fortunately, that is the action of the Warlord, thus ending the... Yeah. Nope. Scouring Instruction is going to use his reaction to allow that. What did I say that was? That was a 16 to hit. He's going to let the Alchemist add a d6 to that roll.
Oh, come on, man.
6.
Fine.
So that's a 22 to hit.
That'll hit.
Rewind. What actually happens is it does hit you, and you are given this sense that's going to give you ongoing damage. It happens at the start of your turn.
Weak sauce.
And fortunately,
Can Bardic Inspiration be used in this circumstance?
I think you'd need to do something like Silvery
not against
Barbs
AC.
to reduce
okay.
their... because I'm not rolling anything. They're rolling... We'd need to lower their roll.
Right.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
okay.
Fortunately, the Alchemist does take psychic damage by doing that, so he takes 5 psychic damage.
You're like, on God,
All
I will
right.
find something you don't resist this fight.
I try my very hardest to keep it interesting. Virla, you're up.
Okay. First thing I'll do, Dani's still in the flamethrower, so I'll reposition the Aspera to... Is there any way that I can have this line, Austin? Basically
Right.
getting both of the Soul Blades and the Warlord
Let me
at
see
the
what I
end,
can do. Hold on.
while missing Heleven and Kyana.
Hey, if it's a
Blades
dex
and the
save,
warrior.
I stand a pretty good chance of being okay anyway.
All right. Yep, that'll do.
All right, cool. That's my movement.
The ship just sort of drifting around this
Yeah.
whole room. You see the mast scrapes and digs in at one point, and just kicks up
Yeah.
a whole bunch of rusted out shit.
We just
It'll be
repainted
real
that.
fun if this manages
The
to
back, you can actually see there's some sharpened spikes that look like they were made from wood, but right now they're stone, or they look like they were carved from wood. They look like wood, but they're stone. Just scrape the back of the stern of the ship and leave a big gouge.
That will buff out. Through Bing as an action, I will cast Elemental Bane. Actually, I might be able to cast it through myself, but it's fine.
Yeah.
I'm targeting the Warlord. They have to make a Constitution saving throw. DC
Okay.
16.
10.
Awesome.
Hell yeah.
Any time that they take, or the first time rather, that they take fire damage, the target will take an extra 2d6.
Okay.
And they lose any resistance to that damage, so if they were resistant to fire, then they no longer are.
Not so. All right.
Hint, Danny.
You don't have to hint at that. think we were very much on the same page.
Yeah.
All right,
that'll be my turn.
Cool. The alchemist's turn. The alchemist is just gonna shoot at Finbar because things are going badly here. Actually, warlord. As long as the warlord's up, then stay and fight. Yeah, he's just gonna shoot an acid vial at you, Finn.
Okay, go for it.
7? 7 hit?
7? No, I don't think so.
Yeah, not so much. Not so much. Okay. And that's his turn. I love a turn like that. Finbar, you just sidestep as this vile acid comes flying past you, and you just Iron Man past the missile.
Cute. Okay, here we go. I am going to close the gap. Move right up to him. Like, what's up, buddy? I just need you to move over, and I'm going to put my arm on his head. As the pixies come out of...
This dude doesn't have much health left.
Yeah.
Out of the coat onto my arm, and they fly out. I'm going to cast Fairy Fire.
Okay.
Behind Vice and Kyana. I should be able to position it in a way that
If you turn the cube, you can hit all 3 of them, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, 3 dex saves. They all have a flat modifier to this. Fail on the warlord, fail on one soul blade, success on the other soul blade. Oh, your DC is 16? 17? 17. So it just makes the DC.
Okay.
So 1 success. The other 2 though are illuminated.
Right. And then as a bonus action, I'm gonna turn to the guy that I have my hand on. It's like, that was a really neat trick how you guys came out from being invisible. I could do something like that too, and I will use my bonus action to turn invisible.
Yay!
Goodbye.
Where'd Finbar go?
I can do better.
All right. That ends your turn. You're invisible.
Yes.
Vice, you're up.
Come on,
Okay,
nice.
well, Vice is gonna glare at his two assailants and sort of through gritted teeth sort of belt out. When your souls return to hell, tell them Vice is following. And he's going to raise both his arms with the expectation of something happening, and then after a few seconds go, oh, for fuck's sake, and then grab one of those punch cards and just sort of shove it in his slots to cast 4th level Thunderwave.
Woo!
Jesus Christ. All right, 2 con saves.
Yep.
Oh, I did roll really well on these guys. Soul Blade. No modifier. Rolled a 17 and a 20, though.
Giggity.
Damn. Well, the 20 gets away with it.
Okay, what's your DC?
Oh, for this attack, 17.
17, so the 17 also saves. So they're both
okay.
going to save. They'll take half damage. Go ahead and roll your... What you say, a 4th level Thunder Wave?
Yep.
Yeah.
3, like, 7d8ers or 6d8 or something like
5d8 for 4th level.
that? 5d8. All right, go ahead and roll 5d8. You're just going
Nice.
to take half damage on that.
Oh, bloody hell. That's half of 28. 14.
14.
Okay, not bad. Oh, if they'd failed, that would have one-shot them.
That was kind of what I was hoping to go for. It's kind of an anticlimax.
Ah, it's okay.
Well, you still do a pretty significant amount of damage as this blast goes out, just power chord. They both kind of slide back a little bit from the very force of it, and their cyanic daggers flicker. Does that end your turn?
Bonus action, I'm going to draw the fancy rapier.
Woo.
Cool. You see he draws a rapier that is black and glows with a dull red and kind of pulses, which you guys remember to be the Hellfire weapon.
Yeah!
That thing looks like
I got
good
a bunch
news.
of those.
Okay.
I got one of those too!
So,
Finbar
who's already
immediately
been
clocks
killed by
that and
that
goes, oh boy.
All right, Soul Blades. One of them is going to move around to flank Kyana because
What?
the Warlord's doing bad. And
Oi,
then this other one's
oi.
just going to square up on Vice. So first against Vice, +5, 16 to hit.
Is my shield... No, because my shield disappeared last time.
It would have
Used your
gone. It
reaction,
would have
yeah.
disappeared on your turn.
Then,
so you can
yeah,
use another
6
reaction if you'd like.
Sure, I'll do that.
Okay. Go ahead, use your react. So you spend spell slot. The Sonic Blade scrapes off of this arcane shield you throw up, and then the other
ooh.
soul blade is going to roll at advantage against Kyana because of flanking.
I have to go a bit easier on this now because I'm burning through spell slots so fast.
That's just the way.
Yeah, you guys can. Yeah, you guys spent a lot on this fight. So
I've used
14 to hit Kyana.
That's gonna miss, baby.
Kyana just doesn't even look behind, moves, and the blade goes past.
I'm in the zone. I'm getting into it. This place is really working for me.
Dani.
Yeah.
Dani!
It's your go.
So I actually don't have the stats on the flamethrower in front of me because they're not on that sheet that you sent in the
I
Discord.
have them. Hold on.
Thank you. Just to check what it exactly does.
60 foot, 5 foot wide, 60 foot long cube, DC 15 dexterity save, or 4d8 fire damage.
So it's a cube, not a cone?
Sitting in that. No, it's a line.
Gotcha. Okay. Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So you can hit those two. They're both going to make DC 15 dex saves. And if they fail, they take 48 fire damage. So, Soul Blade first. 15 will just succeed.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Oh, sorry. Are you doing it? Sorry, you didn't have to.
No, I mean, I want to use the flamethrower. I'm already in the flamethrower.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
The Warlord does fail, so go ahead and roll 48 fire damage plus 2d6
Nice.
because of the Elemental Adept.
4d8
Elemental Bane.
Elemental
plus
Bane.
2d6.
I was born in the elemental.
Merely adopted the fire.
25 total points of fire damage.
You see this after barking the command and some getting through, you see this Warlord squares up against Kyana and says in that like deep underdark kind of, backwards talk, says to you, "We've been on this post 7 weeks. Nothing's come through, killed us yet. You're not going to be the completely, not quite dead, but really close to it, immolated by flame."
Coming through!
Padding begins patting down.
Our battle will be legendary.
Speaking of Kyana, it's your turn. The start
Yeah.
of your turn,
What
you
is the-
take
Yep.
4 points of fire damage,
Oh, that's not so bad. Ouchies.
and you can use an action to attempt to put that out.
I can wait. Okay. First things first. Let's attack the Warlord. No flanking, so I don't think... Oh, but there was that fairy fire thing.
Fairy
So
fire.
first roll,
Advantage.
Another 28.
Yeah, that'll do.
Okay. D6 plus 7 for the force damage. Oh, that's a little better. 12.
Finish him.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's just like a... I think...
Currently standing on fire, Nazgul in flames.
Yeah, I'm still sort of expecting this to take another couple, so I think I swing really wide and it just spends him spinning off to the left. Just
You feel something go through armor and crack something, and it just kind of goes boom, 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 off to the side.
Whoop. Well, okay then, and I'll just continue the turn and go at the guy who's behind me.
Cool. So the one behind you currently, straight, but you are within 10 feet of this other one who is also fairy fired. So advantage on this one down on the other side of Vice.
So I would have advantage on Soul Blade
The one with the
4,
little
but not
blue
on Soul
marker.
Blade 2?
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
Well, I have 3 more attacks this round, so I'm going to attack Soul Blade number 2.
Yeah. Soul Blade 2 actually a family name.
Oh, really? That's so interesting. Ha! Okay, that's not so good. Does a 16 hit?
16 will hit the Soul Blade.
Hot dang. Okay.
They are not as heavily armored. They're meant for sneaking in places, which
that
you'd
tracks.
assume would mean they'd have a really good stealth score. They do not.
Tragic. Okay. D6 plus 7. Yeah, 11.
11 will almost do it.
Okay. Bonus action, flurry of blows. Let me
Do
just
it.
pop in a key point just so I remember that costs a key point. Third attack, 22.
Yeah, that'll
This
that'll
dimension's
do.
really working for me, guys. Okay, and
Oh, by the way, you gain half of your HP and temporary hit points
I
because
thought that
you
might
killed
happen
that
at
dude.
the end, but yes. So this one will be another
Yeah,
11.
we'll resolve it at the end.
Another 11
You're-
points of damage.
Cool. Yeah, that does him as well.
Okay. So that was.
You got one more attack?
I got one more attack, and the other one's in range. So
He is,
because I
with
got 10
advantage.
feet. Sweet. All right. I guess we're gonna find
If
out
you
what
roll
happens if
real-
this stacks.
If you roll really well, you can take him out.
Let's see what happens.
Yeah.
Natural 20!
There it is.
Let's go.
Kyana,
All right.
how do you want to do that? 3 people in one turn.
Yeah.
I don't think it's possible for you to roll low enough to not take this dude out. So
I think it's like a spin flip, so I get over Vice's shoulder without so like it like kind of like the arm like flies across his shoulder, like almost nicks his cheek and just like destroys the thing right in front of him, like up in his big enlarged face. So what does killing 3 guys do to my temp HP or my will save?
You only get it once.
Okay.
It happens for because you can't stack temporary hit points.
Cool. Well, that's 32
but go ahead
temp
and make
HP.
me. Cool. Go ahead and make me 3 wisdom saves, please.
3 wisdom saves, certainly. Do I get it? I think I get advantage on these.
I think
right?
it's just one. It's just one for each. But it's just one for the round when you killed them. So just go ahead and make me 1. I forgot
okay.
that when we did when Dani killed 4, it was also just 1.
Okay, I think I get, don't I get it? Yes, dual mind, advantage on all wisdom saving throws. But I
There you
kinda
go.
wanna fail.
That's awesome.
All right, well, whatever. We'll roll these dice that got me a crit and see what happens.
Kyana.
Oh, hello. If it was disadvantage, I definitely would have failed. But I think a 19 is going to pass.
A 19 is going to pass. You're literally dual mind. You kind of feel the draw to keep. There's basically all enemies are done around you. There's 1 alchemist left.
Oh.
Which
Finbar's
not
got
a
that.
fighter. More of a thinker than a fighter. That one.
Yeah.
You kind of feel the draw
Alchemist.
of like your rage pushing you forward. Like there's more fight to be had. But the dual mind, whether it's the Kyana part of you or the Suvi part, or whether they're more intertwined than you know, kind of like reels you back, and you don't go on a big rampage.
Cool. Bracing. Okay.
Cool.
That's my turn. Let me see. That was
Cool.
my
I'm
action.
Kind
My
of
bonus
invisible,
action.
whispering in this alchemist's ear. I'm just like, see that girl? She's going to do big things. Sorry about
Warlock
your boss,
goes-
though.
Sorry, the alchemist goes, ah! And skips Warlord's turn, goes right to Virla. Virla, there is 1 player left on this field, and it's a very scared-looking dwarf.
All right. Yeah, let's do overkill. Bonus action, move Bing so that the lightning bolt isn't going to be in the way of the Paraspora.
Okay, you could shoot
Basically
underneath
just-
it. I'll rule that you can shoot right underneath the Paraspora.
Oh, sure,
It's
okay,
a little
then.
off the ground.
If we harness
Lightning
the lightning
bolt.
bolt's power, we could create a turbo boost effect later on.
4.
Okay, yeah. What is that, 6d8? Yeah.
I don't
Yeah, this guy has 9 hit
like
points.
how good we're all feeling right now, because this feels like we're gonna get punched in the face by the end of the session.
Oh. That's really overkill. 36 points of lightning damage.
Cool. How do you... No, you don't even get to choose. This Durgar ceases to exist. A lightning bolt cracks through. Finbar, you feel the heat, and you're like, maybe something got singed there. And the light is so bright, when it fades, there is nothing but a smoking, charred lump of charcoal on the ground.
Shit.
Virla, you gain temporary hit points equal to half your maximum, and please make me a wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
And Alchemist didn't
Will I
drop
get the
like a
bloodlust?
satchel or anything when they got evaporated.
Nothing left.
No, it's pretty much all gone. In fact, you think maybe the alchemist fire had something to do with that.
13?
Virla, are you about to fail this wisdom save?
Not Virla, he's the only one who matters in terms of being like of sound mind in this trip.
Folden and Bloodlust.
Well, how many hit
DC
points?
14 whiz save. Cool. So we'll resolve that in your next.
Next.
How many hit points? How many temp do I get?
Half of your max.
Oh, yes, okay. 25.
Are there even
Cool.
any enemies left? Why is it his next turn?
There aren't.
Well,
No, but we are going to quickly. We're going to move through Finbar. You come back into visibility
I am
because we
bent
also have
over.
to deal with Kyana burning.
Oh,
so
yeah. I'll stop,
Well-
drop, and roll in a minute.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So Finbar, is there anything you want to do with your turn? We'll just keep it an initiative here. Just
Is there? Can I use
posterity.
my action? Can I use my action to put out the flames?
Yeah, it's an acrobatics check from you.
Pat, pat, pat.
I'll, on someone else, I'll allow sleight of hand if you want to try sleight of hand.
It's, neither are great.
I mean, you got nothing. You can't. You can't do worse than her being on fire. You're not going to make it worse by rolling bad.
That's true.
Finbar also
just
catches
accidentally
on fire.
backhands me into the still on fire area from the grenade.
I actually rolled decent. That's a 17.
All right, you come in and like kind of wrap your arm up in some of your heavy cloak and kind of scrape and then pat what's left down, preventing you from taking anything.
Thanks, man.
We're going to go through if there's anything anyone wants to do in this quick kind of lull, and then we'll resolve Virla's failed save. So, Virla, before you do anything, but everyone else on the ground there, everyone's dead. Vice, anything you guys want to do?
I'm going to cast Cure Wounds on myself.
All right.
idea.
That's 10 points of healing.
You see this
Alrighty.
mechanite repair itself as Kyana, you are put out, and Finbar, scrapes away this alchemist's flame that's on you.
Yay!
I'm gonna turn to this new mechanite and I'll hold my hand out and it's like, Finbar, you doing all right?
I'm just sort of do that thing where they sort of glance at your hand and then back up at you. Like, that was impressive.
Come on, I ain't gonna bite. You doing all right? It's like, you need a little more than just that little tick.
Whoa,
That's
your
all
head
just-
totally changed. I'm sorry, I've been so distracted.
I sort of just walk past him and stare up at the Aspera and I was like, this ship,
All right.
it is a spelljammer.
Oh, I'm getting only good vibes from this.
I turn to Kyana. It's like, you think this dude's all right? I don't think he's all there.
I mean, who knows how long he's been stuck out here, right?
You know what? Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll do it.
Yeah.
It's a ship, all right. Yeah, that's one of them spelljammers. Is
Can it take me back to hell?
Is this not hell?
I
I'm
turn to
confused.
Kyana and I go,
Yeah.
he's not all there.
No, this is fine. If he wants to be in hell, then that's that. Honestly, most of the stuff that we dealt with that was in hell that was trying to get out was the problem, right?
Sure, yeah, but like he's one of the few, cuckoos that want to go back in.
His eyes are slowly sort of pulsating red as he's looking over your ship, like
Oh, only good
twitching
things.
every now and again.
All right, well,
I mean-
let's get back on the ship.
Yeah, we can see if Delphine's okay with it.
What's the holdup?
The guy we were rescuing, I think.
Can you check in the alchemist coop and see if any vials of anything survived?
Dani, I'm afraid that dude's. There ain't nothing there.
Check in the alchemist.
Can you get
There's
me
no
a
goop.
bit of the alchemist goop? I have a collection going.
This guy just got Raiders of the Lost Arts.
I'm still a little on
Finbar
fire.
looks
There
at the
might be
dust on
some.
his gloves and he's like, I'll give it the glove. It's all right.
I'm gonna sort of look up at Dani, like, are you the leader of this adorable band of misfits?
Yeah. Yes.
We'll let
her
him
or
make
the
that
cat?
mistake.
I am Warlord Vice of the Wastelands of Hell.
Oh.
I am temporarily separated from my clan. If you would return me to the plane, I would not be ungrateful.
I would like to make an insight check to size this guy up and see if he is actually important in hell and if he might be, as the kids say, an easy mark. Or
Oh no.
Could I also do an
go
insight
ahead.
check just to, I'm not stupid. I'm just friendly.
Sure, go ahead. Go
Thank
ahead
you.
and roll your insight checks. While you're doing that, Virla,
What you got, girl?
Yeah.
you're sitting in the helm, and you feel as they're discussing the taste of frying that dude felt really good. It felt
Oh.
so good, you feel like you need to strangle someone with your bare hands.
damn it.
Fortunately, you're very far away from everyone. So, on this turn, Virla, you get up out of the helm, use your full action to dash. There's no
Okay.
one within range of you to make an attack against, and thus you spend your whole action walking towards Dani, your fists clenching as you imagine what it would be like to grab her head and just smash it against the railing in front of you. And by the time you make it about 60 feet towards her, that feeling passes.
The entire time, my pupils are slowly dilating and turning red.
They're turning
and-
red.
Yes, yes! Oh, but none of us were there to see it.
And then you just sort of snap out of it. It goes away.
Where am I? Was I conscious? Do I know that happened? Or is that like... Oh,
Yep.
okay.
No, it's
didn't
like
go
you just
Zambo mode.
needed to kill something. You just need to beat something for that moment. And then it passes.
Oh man, this dimension is so refreshing.
Is everybody okay?
I'll leave it to Vice to say, obviously, Dani does succeed, but I'll leave it to Vice to say how much information Dani and Kyana are going to get, but those are obviously very good checks, so...
Yeah, I rolled a 24.
Well, I mean, how long did you spend on Hell?
We were there for a train
let's
heist.
see. Is it
Less than a
Avernus or
day.
Acheron? Avernus is the one we're talking about, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Avernus is
Avernus.
the first layer of Hell. Acheron is its own plane. So there's Baitor, the 9 layers of Hell, and then there's the internal battlefield of Acheron.
Yeah.
2 different worlds. He's from this one.
Yeah.
You're up here.
We spent a few hours in Avernus.
Okay. I mean, if there was any sort, you picked up any sort of local gossip or whatever, then you would have known there was a warlord Vice who lived as a part of a nomadic tribe in the wastelands. He was in charge of the largest group of battle wagons on all of Hell.
Oh,
So
we
it was
might
like,
have actually known that.
Yeah.
I would say you haven't heard of Vice necessarily because you haven't spent that much hours there, but you guys are definitely familiar, especially with having been there. You're familiar with the political structure, being that there's a bunch of like loose warlords who kind of there's devils who are in charge, and then there's a bunch of waste where no one really cares what happens, and everywhere in the Planescape belongs to someone. So these guys are fighting over that space, and they use you've seen the battle rigs that they use.
There's one in the hold of
Presumably, the biggest. This would be very impressive. Dani does have one in the hull of her ship.
Yeah. So I think just
whole-
insight-wise, we're like, okay, this guy at bare minimum fully believes he is who he says he is.
Yeah. He seems to be pretty
100%.
straight when he was like, I was a
Right.
big deal in
Yeah.
Hell, and this is what I did.
And it's like, he's got a Hellfire weapon. He's probably from Hell. Most people who aren't from Hell don't want to go there, so that makes sense. So I'm on board with this.
Hey, everywhere is someone's home.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he'll do a lot less damage if we just bring him back to Hell. So yeah,
Yeah,
we can bring
it's
him
a
back
quick stop, right?
Dani
Find a
likes
portal
the
or something.
idea of
at some
having,
point.
because now she's got her own little war machine going in the basement. I'm like, she's thinking in her mind, how can I use this man's existence to my advantage? But for the sake of that, it's like, yeah, we just got to go through continue through Avernus for a bit first before we can go back out. But we can
We're not in Avernus.
Acheron.
Go through Acheron before
Too
you
many
can go
A
back to
names.
I know, right? Who
I
can
didn't
keep all
make
these
'em up.
hells straight?
I mean, you can tell
There's
that, like,
lots of
the idea
you
that
don't
you're
even
not
have been to Gehenna.
You can see that not immediately doing what he wants you to do is clearly extremely irksome to him, but he's sort of like, very well. You will find loyalty to my clan is rewarded.
Neat. All right, let's get on the ship. Do you need a lift? I can carry you up.
You can see him thinking about it. And like, he's like, fuck, I might actually need a lift.
Yeah, go. Trust me. It's
Throw
it's a
down
good
the
carry.
rope.
Yeah, all right.
All right.
well. I assume we'll make our way up.
I think certainly, given Finbar's state of mind, it makes sense to bring on someone who is like can do stuff for this leg, and also, you know, you're sort of abandoning him here. In fact, actually, as this conversation is going on, this is hour 24 of you being in Thuldanin, so could I get you to make a Constitution saving throw, please, Vice? You do make it at advantage because it's against being poisoned.
Oh.
Ooh.
Just poisoned by the atmosphere. The vibes are just that
This
rancid.
place makes you mad.
The vibes
and then
are toxic.
I'm just getting a lot of toxic
energy?
energy from this plane
It's
of
just
existence.
so bad.
It's really like
Does garbage also
14?
mean like
14.
banana
14 will
peels
succeed,
and-
but you do see Finbar's got a crazy passive perception. Ironically, the nature of being made of metal makes you somewhat more resistant to the adverse effects being here. But Finbar, you can see just a creep of like patina starting to like go for like crows, almost like a
Crow's feet.
kind of situation, going like up from the eye across the head. And you get a sense that probably being in this world is not like a good thing to do for a long time. As you look around at all of the like rusted, corroded everything that's around you.
Makes
Okay,
sense.
I'm gonna count that as enough to set off his unique situation. So you see the head sort of violently flip back around as like you hear Vice cursing, like, and the original Heleven's head reasserts itself, and it's like, hello.
Oh, hello again.
I don't believe we were formally introduced before. I am Heleven, the
Oh,
chief
that's-
entertainer and hype man of Warlord Vice of the planet Hell. My comrades used to say I was a little slice of Hell in Hell.
Aw, that's so
Aw.
fun.
I
understand you have made an accord with my lord and master.
Yeah, we'll be getting you back to hell post-haste as soon as we're done with our thing out here. Do you need me to carry you up?
Yes, please, that would be most appreciated.
Fantastic. The arms are still out, so this is very easy. Just like hop
Sure,
up onto
sure.
the little king. Yeah. Okay, perfect.
It is most fortuitous you arrived. I am not sure how long my body would have lasted in this environment. The effects
How
of
long
this
have
world
you
are
been here?
quite corrosive.
Yeesh.
I believe this was
Better
my
day.
14th hour.
Oh. Oh, because
Yeah.
because you've been okay. All right. Okay. This is fun. All right. So are we all back on the ship? Can we all hang out?
You are, yeah. You guys get all back on the ship.
Hello,
Set him
I
down.
am Virla, and you see a different sort of brand of mechanite. No, I don't know. Dom, did you describe your face? You described like having two heads, but do the faces themselves like change expression, or is it just like a painted on sort of?
Vice has a very expressionate face. He's got the deluxe model where you can see it's made out of like individual like metal pixels with like the helmet motif over it. But Heleven has kind of the budget model, so he only has three expressions: happy, surprised, and intense DJ face.
So it's like an LCD screen type thing.
Kind of others, yeah. So he can only really do like, hello.
Yeah.
So
This
like
mechanite
forced
that you
grin.
see is more like an Iron Man visor. It's just one sort of fixed expression, and you can see that when he talks, there's no, his mouth doesn't move or anything like that. The only expression that you can discern is from his eyes, which sort of move in a unique way to sort of be enough to sort of to convey emotion. Yeah. Virla is very interested to see another mechanite. I am Virla. It is nice to meet you.
It is nice to meet you.
Oh God, they're starting a
I
feedback
understand.
loop.
I assume that Dani and I just sort of heard that whole conversation, so we
Hello
don't
world.
have to rehash
Hello
it.
world. Hello world.
Can I assume everyone introduced themselves in a way not necessary for the audience?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We figured it out.
Well, if you are amenable, we have our own mission to achieve here. But we are happy to escort you back to your plane of origin once we have finished our job here. We are
That
uniquely suited to fulfill that purpose.
That is extremely good to hear.
Don't we already know where the portal to Acheron is actually? Because we went there that one time.
You know where a portal to hell is. You've been there, yeah.
Perfect.
We don't know how to. Yeah, exactly.
We know how to get on the
Yeah.
We don't know how to
highway
get
now.
from Guldanen to Acheron. To,
Yeah. No. But
to
once we're
Avernus,
back on
yeah.
the astral sea, it'll be.
Yes.
Okay. Sweet. Cakewalk.
I
Yeah,
will
piece of
assist
cake.
in your mission any way I can. The speedier we return to hell, the quicker Warlord Vice can rally his forces.
Very well. Yeah, I guess
okay.
I'll assume the helm again, and we'll start.
Yeah.
heading
Let's get
out.
out of this weird cave thingy we're in.
Pirla, you assume the helm, orient the ship towards that tunnel, and begin to go through. It's a little bit slow going because there are huge pieces of metal that almost like magnetically have been like curled out, and so you kind of have to like twist the ship to get through. But with your proficiency, it's not too big a deal to get it through these obstacles. You begin to make your way through, and you see the dull red light of the world outside that sort of permeates like a sickened version of Mechanus. This just like red throbbing light outside on the tunnel ahead. You begin to hear that like louder the ringing of sounds like horrible out of tune bells, but you know it to be from your time in the first layer. The cubes distantly crashing into each other,
So peaceful in here.
and the bow begins to pull into light. As you do, everyone on the ship feels just a gentle like boof, kind of like bump rock as you're moving. What is everyone's passive perception?
Every time you
it is.
ask
Already?
this,
Again?
it's cruel to me. 9.
17.
15. Finbar.
Yeah,
22.
Finbar, you kind of go and peer over the edge of the ship on the on the starboard side there. As you do, you can kind of see underneath the ship. There kind of seems like a shadow, and what looks like you see like a bunch of like kind of like coins tumbling kind of underneath the ship. So like imagine you're just imagine if something was crawling underneath the ship and you just saw the tail, but instead you just see a couple coins like tumbling down. And then you see rear up very quickly on the side of the ship. You see what looks like a massive gelatinous goo that is just it's coins and rusted swords and shields and stuff, but they are stretching. It's an amorphous form that was disguised as this huge detritus pile, just morphing itself, reaching up. We're going to roll initiative against the Horde Mimic, and we're going to go to break and pick up after that.
Yeah!
Horde Mimic.
That's so
Question,
fun.
DM, is the stuff that it's using to disguise
yes.
itself actual loot, or is it just meant to look like loot?
It's a big gooey creature that can shapeshift. So it's the shields and like noticeable objects are distending as you realize that they are just sticky
dang it.
pieces that look like armor. And the coins that were moving and tumbling were actually the end of the mimic pulling up under the ship. It's adhesive, so it just sticks to the bottom and like moves up.
Dang.
Oh, boy.
So we're gonna go to break. Everyone will
We'll
catch
deal with
back
that
here in
then,
just a few minutes.
Yeah, boy.
And we will fight a Horde Mimic.
Rolling with difficulty.
Today's adventure is brought to you by World Anvil. World Anvil is a browser-based world-building tool designed to help you, the creator, write and world build, all while keeping your work organized and in one place. World maps, calendars, customizable wikis, visual timelines, and more let you decide how best to build your world. And when you're ready to write, look no further than the built-in word processor. You can write your prose directly in World Anvil to keep every step of the process in one place. We all know TTRPGs are about the power of friendship, and with real-time collaboration, you can work with your players or other creators on the same project. On top of all that jazz, World Anvil recently rolled out a new feature called Whiteboards. This visual canvas allows creators to freely draw out their ideas, adding diagrams, flowcharts, mood boards, and more. If you're a more visual creator, this feature is perfect for you. You can chart out character arcs, storyboard key scenes, work with your dungeon master to maximize the potential angst factor of your character to really anguish the audience, or whatever you need to help make the story you see in your mind come to life. Interested? Of course you are. And it only gets better, because for our listeners, World Anvil is offering a special discount. Just use code PLUG at checkout for 40% off a yearly membership. That's code PLUG, P-L-U-G.
Hi, I'm Red. Thank you for listening to Rolling with Difficulty. We've been thrilled to have you tagging along for the adventures of the Aspera. Rolling with Difficulty recently launched a new way to support the podcast, our Patreon page. In addition to helping make this program possible, patrons get access to all sorts of bonus contact directly from myself and the rest of the cast, so save those wish rings for later. Rewards include monthly Discord hangouts, additional character and NPC info, bonus stories from the Planescape, art sheets, and more. Right now, new patrons will even have access to our special launch bonus, the playtest for the College of Feasts subclass inspired by our very own Elise. Check out the link in the description below to browse these and all the benefits awaiting patrons, and thank you to everyone for supporting Rolling with Difficulty. We'll catch you out on the Astral Sea.
Rolling with difficulty.
When last we left our heroes, you faced down the Horde Mimic, this thing that would have been imitating all the piles of trash that you see lining the walls of this horrible ruined place. We're opening with initiative, so I'm going to go ahead and roll initiative. Everyone else can just throw their initiative in the chat, and I will go ahead and
Noir,
stack it.
same initiative, buddies.
Yay!
Oh wait, no, this thing gets advantage on initiative, I think.
Virla, what is your dex?
A 10?
Motionless at the
14.
start of combat as advantage. There we go.
Not
Okay,
last.
I'll allow it. It's cool. We're moving at 12, and let's see what else we got here for my heroes. Red, Kyana sitting at a dirty 20. Nice.
Yeah.
Virla sitting all the way down at a 5. Less nice.
Dani also.
Dani all the way down at a 5. Digging it. Finbar at a 12.
It's
and
solidarity.
Vice.
It's an 11. It's in the side chat.
Oh, it's in side chat. 11. Okay.
Oh, what was I?
I think
all good.
do we have?
We have it up on
multiple 12s.
Roll20.
Finbar, what is your dexterity?
It's an 11. No, 13.
Oh my.
Dex is 13.
13?
Sorry. I rolled.
You beat this guy by 1.
Oh, okay. Hell yeah.
So you're gonna be up. Kyana, impossible surprise as ever. You feel the bump, and though Finbar goes and looks, you immediately intuit from seeing his reaction that a combat is happening. Though it is currently off the edge of the ship.
Such a good process.
It is adhered to the side, and you are the first up in this initiative. What would you like to do?
I'd like to go over to the edge of the ship and punch it.
Cool.
Yeah. So
With
I'm
your
gonna-
10-foot reach, totally possible.
Boop. Excuse me, Dani. There we go.
Yeah.
Okay.
By the way, inspirations last for 10 minutes, so I'm saying this is within 10 minutes, so any inspirations you gained from the bard in the last fight would still carry over. Keep in mind, though, after this fight, they will definitely disappear.
Perfect.
Because I'm assuming this is like minute 10, basically. So.
Yeah, all right, okay. Well, that was my movement, action. I'm going to attack it.
Like, this is the start of minute 9. We got 60 seconds in it.
Okay.
Oh, in that case, my starry form would still be up?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll allow it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. All right.
My arms are still out, so yeah. Yeah, okay. Just a regular attack. But I think my rage
your
dropped
rage is
because I
dropped,
didn't
yeah.
attack anything.
Yeah,
for
rage
a
only
moment.
lasts a minute anyway.
Yeah, okay. Whoop. 16.
16 will hit.
Oh, thank goodness. You telling me this thing isn't particularly armored? Okay,
This is a
D6.
big pile of goop.
And that is 10 points of force damage on the first hit.
Not too bad.
Not too bad at all. Second attack. Oh, it feels weird to be punching down like this. Second attack. Yeah, 25. So.
Yeah. Good shit.
D6 plus 5. That is 7 force damage.
All right.
Do I punch more or do I prepare for it to whack me with some patient defense? Patient defense doesn't cost key, so I'm going to do that for now because I'm not running low, but it would be nice to not run out on the first encounter. So I'm going to sort of like I can tell it's moving up the ship, right?
Yep. Yeah, it's coming for you.
Okay, then I'm going to sort of step back and do a little patient defense, so I take the bonus dodge action. And that's my movement action, bonus action, so I'm sorted.
Sick as hell. All right. Finbar, you're up.
All right. Bonus action, I will bring out the tentacle whip.
Ooh.
Okay. This horrible red lash that looks like it's made out of, like, tendon just extends from Finbar's forearm.
All right. We got shit to find. I don't have time for this. I only have one attack, but we'll make it count. Okay, not the greatest. That is a 16 to hit.
16 is going to hit it, actually.
Oh,
That's what hit last time, too.
sweet. Okay, cool.
It's not as easy to hit as those gibbering mouthers, but it's not the hardest thing in the world either.
Cool.
Basically a puddle.
That is a total of 11.
Okay.
Some slashing, some psychic. I will throw a favored foe on this, so this is additional D4.
Okay. That's your concentration up. And you also have your swarm as well, right?
And I am about to have it make a strength saving throw.
Okay. Strength saving throw.
Yeah, because it gets pushed.
It is decent at these. That's an 18.
That saves. Yes.
It's a very high strength.
Okay. That's
This
good
thing
to
it's
know.
best at. So what was the D4 damage?
An extra 3 weapon
Cool.
damage, yeah.
Pixies go in. You see they go in and start like trying to grab, and then some of them just get like adhered to it, and suddenly instead of trying to pull it, they're trying to pull away.
Oh no!
They're like flap. The little wings are flapping as they're like. Ah! All right, is that end your turn, Finn?
I believe that's it. Yeah, I'll stay right up here.
Cool. It is going to move up the ship, so now we're assuming that it is like right against the railing there, so it's on level where you guys can see. And it is going to make 2 pseudopod attacks. One against Finbar, one against Dani. One against one against Finbar, one against Kyana. One against Kyana is going to be a disadvantage.
What am I, chopped liver? Okay, let's go.
More or less. All right, we'll start with the Kyana one.
Okay.
One's good. The other one, 14 to hit.
Nope. 18.
Cool. And then we're going to roll against Finbar with the pseudopod. 23 to hit Finbar.
Yeah, that's gonna hit.
Okay. You take 14 points of bludgeoning damage as this tendril that looked like it was like an old cannon just extends and slaps you. It doesn't even grab on, it's just sticky. It hits you like in the gut, kind of knocks wind out of you, and adheres to you. You are grappled, which means your speed is 0.
Okay.
While you're grappled in this way, you are also restrained.
So can he do anything?
Okay.
Attacks have an advantage against him and have disadvantage. He has disadvantage. And then it's going to make a bite attack at Finbar with advantage since he is restrained.
With what mouth?
all
you
mouth.
see as like literally from nowhere a hole
had to ask.
opens and just like
God, it's a moving
just
sarlacc.
sphincter opens.
I
And
don't love
rows
that
of teeth
word.
in
You didn't have to
there.
use that word.
Dirty 20 to hit you, Finbar.
Dirty 20 is gonna hit.
So you're gonna take. Ooh.
Hey,
Don't you
it's not having fun.
There's D10.
Get the shit out of here.
Sixes in here. You're gonna
What?
take 20 points of piercing damage
Okay.
and 7 points of acid damage.
I have 1 temporary hit point left.
Yeah, I was gonna say Finbar is like fine.
Yeah.
Okay, that is his whole turn, so that's gonna be it. So we're gonna move on now to Dani is. No, I'm sorry. It's Eleven is currently up. So
It's me.
Come on, 11.
I think I'm going to keep it fairly simple. No, I'm lying. I'm going to use... I was like, please desist in this assault, and I'm going to cast our big old moonbeam down on his head.
Nice.
oh shit!
Ho, ho, ho.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
I'm curious
Hold on.
what
He's a
this does.
shapeshifter, is it?
Moonbeam is good.
Yeah,
against
this is a
shapeshifter.
literal-
Turn.
Literally,
this
one
at
of his
level
actions
3.
is called Shape Changer, so I'm gonna allow it. So he's gonna make a con save at disadvantage because Moonbeam is meant for revealing shapeshifted creatures.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's cool.
It is. I can't believe you took that spell.
Yeah.
That is such a cool.
Yeah.
So he's going to make this at disadvantage. It's a con save, right?
Yeah. 17
He is
or
quite
above.
good at them, however. So with disadvantage, it's a 19.
Ah, damn.
Does it do
but
anything?
I'm going to...
But he's going to take half damage, and also Moonbeam is persistent.
It is, yes.
So
So he still, he
you're
still
gonna
does
be
some
able
damage,
to-
does he?
you're going to be able to do it round after round.
Yep. All right.
And
so
what's
third
the
level
size of it?
moonbeam.
I'll go ahead and draw it for you. I mean, nothing.
5 foot radius, 40 foot high cylinder coming down from the sky.
Whoa.
All right, a 5 foot radius. There we go. So I'm assuming you don't want to hit Finbar.
Yeah, probably not. 11 probably. I mean, Vice wouldn't have cared. 11 would be careful.
Yeah.
And how far can you move it on a turn?
60 feet in any direction.
60 feet in any direction?
Whoa.
Yeah, cool. So the ship is flying right now, so Virla might have to slow down to keep you guys from leaving it behind. That is an amazing turn. Oh, you're going to have to roll damage, and it'll be halved, but it's still going to take that radiant damage.
Yep.
It's just white, ghostly white flames beam up into the sky.
Incredible.
That was 12.
12, all right, half to 6.
Respectable.
He's,
All right.
he's playing out some sort of interpretive scat on his loudspeakers.
Very cool. Dani, you're up.
So the ship is still moving at relative speed, right?
Yep, I assume Virla's just moving at his normal 90 feet around, unless he tells me otherwise.
And this guy's like latched on to the ship.
Yep, he's like latched on.
If I see that Finbar is grappled, then I will stop.
Stop the ship.
Ooh.
Well,
Well, he's grappled onto the ship.
Yeah, he's
Okay.
still on the ship. He's just
Yeah, they're
Grappled
yes,
in the
that
goop.
is true.
okay, never mind then.
Yeah, I'm gonna cast Vortex Warp on the goo guy and just try and teleport him 90 feet behind us into any
Yeah,
blank
boy.
spot on the cube I
Yeah.
can see. It's a DC 17 con save.
He's good at
DC
his
17 con
saves.
save. Okay, this
Yeah.
guy. This is a huge one, so I'm gonna roll in the chat in front of
Take it
everyone.
back,
He has a
take it.
+6 to this. So
11 or
lower.
roll
It's like 50-50 odds.
1d20.
Cross everything you got,
plus
folks.
6.
Oh,
22.
22.
He does resist.
How many more of those you got in you?
You see the vortex tries to space tries to rip, and you watch this thing twist up like it's a fucking soft serve. Just get fleshed, but it's meaty. Just goes, and it snaps back into place
why'd you
as
make
it
the sound?
resists being literally pulled through a wormhole you generate.
Well, this shit sucks, and I will back up a few feet.
Sweet, he's got a 10-foot reach, so he's gonna take a quick swing on you.
Yeah, it's
Hey,
fine.
hey.
That's a 19 to hit.
I use my reaction to cast shield to bring my AC up to 20.
Good. Yeah.
Okay. Wait, double check. Yep, +8, 19. Okay. That is Dani's turn. Virla, you're up, and then we're back to the top of initiative.
Okay.
So you're gonna keep moving. I'll say that we'll consider it just a movement. I don't want to get too in the weeds of you moved 60 feet, not 90 feet because
Sure.
of the moonbeam. Let's just consider that you're going slow enough for it.
Okay.
But you're still gonna keep moving to get out of this hole, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, this is interesting. I'll cast Tasha's Mind Whip on it. It can't be smart.
That's an
can it?
intelligence save, right?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's not so much for the intelligence actually.
Really?
That's also natty 1.
Nice. All right. So 3d6 psychic, but that's not really what I'm interested in. But even so, it takes 10 points of psychic damage.
Wow, not bad. Okay.
It can't take reactions, and on its next turn, it can either choose an action, a bonus action, or a movement.
Excellent.
One of the three.
my
You see
brain.
the thing kind of like ripples, and it has no real brain, so to speak of, but there's definitely a deflating kind of quality to it as you kind of like feel your mind shoot out into it and stab in. You know, if this was an arrow, a direct hit.
This thing's so
Awesome. Any bonus actions? You all good there?
Yeah, no, I'm fine.
Cool. Kyana, you're up.
This thing is so nasty. Okay.
Yeah, a long snaking tongue starts to like come out of the mouth.
When we say that it's nasty, don't say more things that make it nastier.
Yeah, just please.
I'm gonna see. Okay.
Your complaints only encourage me.
Yeah, this is kind of up to you. I wanna attack specifically the pseudopod that's got Finbar grappled.
Cool. There, you could use. Here's what you could do.
Yeah.
You could. It has no reaction. You cannot attack that part of its body, but you could grapple him and pull him out. So in other words, you can use one of your attacks to make a contested grapple against the creature. Does that make sense?
I'll tell you
the same
right
way
now.
the same way you'd use one of your attacks to grab a creature.
Right,
You can
yeah.
use one of your attacks to grapple Finbar. And if you beat the mimic, then you'll pull him free, and you can like walk away with Finbar if you wanted to.
I can get out, no problem.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say, like, if that's strength versus strength on a thing that seems to have nothing except strength and disgustingness, I don't like my odds on that.
It does have strength and disgustingness in spades, but you also have strength because you're using your wisdom. So
Oh, that's true. Still. Anyway, yeah, I'm just gonna start hitting it a whole bunch until it goes away. So,
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, okay, first attack, 27. That's 10 points of force damage on the first attack. Second attack. Oh, that's significantly worse. 13.
13 will miss.
We found it.
You could spend key to increase your attack. If you
Oh,
wanted
that's
to.
right. That's the thing I can do. Yeah, why not? I'm gonna.
How much key do you want to spend? It's 2 points for attack for every 1 key you spend.
I know 16 hits.
And you rolled a 13,
I did.
so
Let's see.
you
hold
know
on.
2 will get you there when 1 might get you there.
Yeah, then I'm going to spend, but I need to call it right now because I
You need
can't
to call
do
it right now. If you had figured out the AC by like
Yeah. I'll do
luck,
2.
then you could know. But okay, 2.
Boop,
2 brings you from a 13 to a 17, which does hit.
Good. And, oh yes, so that's d6 plus 5. That's 11 force damage. And I'm
Not
going
bad.
to use a bonus action flurry of blows, key point.
Cool. Reminder that you can always punch once as a bonus action for free. Flurry of
Yes.
blows is twice and does cast 1.
Yes.
So in case you ever want to go last.
Yep, but that's okay. 17 to hit, so yes.
Yeah.
Could have been a 20. Come on, man. 8 points of force damage. And for the final punch, 16 to hit.
Uh-huh.
Creeping down.
Yeah. Yeah, you're good.
Yeah. And that's 7 points of force damage.
Okay.
Maybe I'll... nah, it's fine. It's got stupid range. But maybe I will step back just a little bit. I'm not going to be out of its threatened area, so I don't think it'll get a free hit. I just want to be slightly less right all up on it.
Okay. It has no reaction, so.
Oh, right, the thing. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Mind whip.
All right, the thing. Very cool. All right, that brings us to Finbar. You are currently restrained.
Cool. Bonus action, I will Misty Step.
Yes.
All right, where are you gonna go, Finn?
Just like
And what have you? I sure you Misty Step before, but what does your Misty Step look like? Because I imagine it's not sulfur and brimstone.
no. I imagine the shawl of leaves sort of engulfs me as I slip into it, and then it folds in on itself, and then I appear.
Very, very
in
cool.
A new spot.
Oh, so fancy.
So I guess 10 feet away from it, and then right back into the reach so that I can hit it with the whip.
Cool.
And I will hit it with another attack. That'll hit with a 22. Yes.
22 won't hit.
9 points of weapon damage, slashing and psychic, plus the favored foe. Sorry.
An additional
Another
D4.
3.
Did you make concentration on the favored foe from the attack last round?
No, I did not. Hold up.
Okay.
to put
Just
a new
I
one
believe
up.
it's a DC 10. So.
No. Yes,
Oh wait,
I
you
did.
gotta hit it. You gotta hit a couple times.
Yeah. Okay,
So it should be 2
1,
cons.
And second one's a natural 1. So
Okay, so there's no
This
favorite
time,
foe on this.
I can-
Unless you throw another on there.
I'm throwing another one up on it.
Cool.
Why not?
Okay. Okay.
And then let's do the strength save again. DC 17.
Okay. He rolls with a +5 to this, so I'll roll in front of the group here. Rolling 1d20 plus 5.
Bet. 15?
15.
That's a fail.
Yes.
Okay.
Once again, pixies come out, start pulling him off the deck of the ship, and this time they succeed. That is 15 feet off of the ship.
Oh no.
Yes.
Yes.
This is why we travel at
get outta here.
speed.
All right. Okay. Yeah, and then it's his turn.
So he starts to fall.
He's gonna start to fall. I'm gonna say, yeah. Hold on. Yeah, give me 1 sec. Because you guys are moving, so
Oh, no.
I don't think he can. It doesn't seem reasonable to me that he could get back on the ship because this is all moving simultaneously, and he's just not as fast as the ship. So I'm gonna say that he's gonna get 1 action because he can't even move anyway. You did your mind thing. So he's going to get 1 action, and then he's going to fall to the ground and be gone. So as his last thing, he opens his mouth, and he's going to use a caustic mist as he just regurgitates.
Not that far off.
Close enough.
So it's a 30-foot cone. So that's one side of it.
Get fucked.
Okay, yeah. Okay, it's just going to be Finbar and Kyana.
Oi.
But it is a dex save, so Kyana, I need dex saves from Finbar and Kyana.
All right.
I do get dex saves as a ranger, so this is good.
Oh, hell yeah.
It's probably won't be
12 will fail.
Okay, so I don't roll it at advantage or anything. I just take the dex save.
You just roll, and if you succeed, you take no damage, and if you
Okay.
fail, you take half.
I used
Okay, that.
I used shield on my last turn. On my turn as a reaction, is my reaction's gone for this round, right?
Correct. Yes.
I rolled a 17.
That will succeed. So
Okay.
Kyana just fully backflips out of the way as this thing hurls its stomach contents. Finbar, you take 33 points of acid damage,
acid reaction.
and you're
Absorb elements.
absorb
you're
elements.
gonna you can have that. Yeah.
All right, I'll give you that one.
Sure.
And no one killed anything this fight actually, so no one gets any temp HP or anything. But
Dang.
Kyana's out of the way. Finbar, you are blinded until the end of your next turn.
Okay.
1, 2,
So
3,
I
6,
imagine
5,
it's
6.
like a cartoonish
Yeah.
like splat, and he's just standing there, and he
Just like
wipes it out of his eyes.
a couple pixies pop
Disgusting.
out with little like wipes, just like window cleaners.
So what was it? 33 halved to 16. Acid damage. Okay. And that's that. And I absorb the tentacle right back into my arm.
I don't like the sound you made with that.
Fantastic.
I don't like anything about that.
That goes.
We should have a discussion about
You
that at
guys
some point.
fly. Vice, do you want to do anything as you leave this thing in the dust?
It's 11 at the moment, but
11, sorry.
yeah, no, I'm just going. Well, that was unpleasant but brief.
Yeah, that was pretty gross. Okay, everyone good?
Mercifully so. Let us continue.
Yeah.
Forgive me, in the rush and excitement of the hentai monster, I never got around to asking what exactly is your quest in this plane.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
Well, hold that thought because as you exit,
Another
combat's
one.
not done, guys. As you exit, he rolled
Another one.
He rolled way down at the bottom for. We are
God.
entering a theater
What?
of the mind combat.
What?
Who
What
are
is
you?
that?
What is
As
that?
you
Austin?
guys fly out, Virla, use your turn. You move out into open space. Finbar is currently wiping the acid out of his eyes.
yeah.
11, you turn and ask that, and then you hear a horrible shrieking sound, and as you look up to the left, we're entering a Theater of the Mind combat, you see, for those of you who've seen rust monsters before, they are small, kind of beetle-like, they have long tails, these antennas. This one looks like a huge bloated one that has giant butterfly wings.
Nice.
What?
I don't like that.
This place is
Why
so
are you
violent.
doing this?
And the Rust Behemoth turn is on turn 3. So, okay, here's some of those new mechanics I was talking about and how they work. Virla, as pilot, we are going to be entering piloting checks.
Okay.
So, right now, you guys are both on, as you emerge from the cube, you're both on altitude 1. I'm going to use D6s
alright.
to represent that. You guys are both on altitude 1, and you can maneuver around each other. So here's how it works. As this thing shrieks in, when you use your movement, it's a contested roll to keep up with or move away from the Rust Behemoth. So for you, on your turn, you're going to roll with a +4 for the Aspera, and then the Rust Behemoth has its own bonus that we'll see if it comes up.
Okay.
So you use your movement, you roll, and you guys are rolling against each other. And whoever, if it's your turn and you win, then you can change your altitude by 1. In other words, you can get closer or farther away from the monster. Or if you're, if you don't want to move, if you're good with the distance you're at, you can give everyone half cover by maneuvering. So when on your turn, we're going to judge how far you are away. Right now, the Rust Monster is going to roll contested against you. You guys are both at altitude 1, so he doesn't really want to move away. But and then the further you are apart, the harder certain attacks become. And if you get past 6 altitude away, he just escapes.
Are we assuming that there is enough space to get up to altitude 6, or?
Yeah. So you guys enter into a huge, vast space, and the altitude is compared to each other. Okay. So
Gotcha.
It's not necessarily against the cube, where it's like altitude 1 is 10 feet up. This is compared to each other, how far away are you, as you kind of chase each other around through the air. So we're going to see how this works. This is a new system I developed using some other systems. And it is his go, his movement. He's going to use his movement to make his maneuver check. So can I get you to please roll for the Aspera?
+4, you said, right?
You're rolling with a +4.
Okay. 16 to beat.
All right, he rolled 26. He rolled really well.
Okay.
He doesn't want to move away from you guys this round, though. He wants to stay on altitude 1 with you. So he is going to gain half cover. This means he has a +2 to his AC for the round as he's maneuvering around, and he will come in and make multi-attack as he tries to. Let's go ahead and see. And by the way, there's no more positioning on the ship. This is all Theater of the Mind. Okay. So movement is just running around chasing the dragon.
What?
But we're gonna roll a D4.
Don't think
sorry,
that
not
means what you
dragon.
think it means.
It's a rust.
Pay
It's a
no
rust.
that one
mind to
in
the
there.
smoking nostrils.
There's a picture of a dragon in front of me. All right, we're gonna go.
Why is there a picture
1,
of a
2, 3,
dragon in front of you?
4. It's gonna go for 11.
Not the robot.
Oh no!
Yes.
So
The guys that are made of metal.
it's gonna make a tail swipe against you. That's a 13 to hit. 11.
Not quite.
All right, and then it's going to use its bite to try to grapple you. So can I please get you to make either an acrobatics or athletics check?
I'm pretty good at those. Let's do acrobatics.
All right.
Sexy 23.
Oh, you totally win. He rolled a 16.
Nice.
So as you guys pull out of the entrance here, we're seeing the side of the ship as you come out. 11, you turn and say that, and then the back focuses in, and we see this horrible, fucked up Mothra-looking thing that's completely rusted over and orangey, flies in, tries to hit you with its long it's got a this flat fan tail. You just happen to move past it, and then it comes down with its long butterfly tendril to bite you, to try and grab onto you, and instead you shove off and backwards as this thing's pretty fucked.
Ooh, piece of cake.
That is its turn, though, so we are going to continue in the initiative. It was down at the bottom, and it comes back up to Kyana.
Oh. Yeah, okay. I have like no ranged attacks.
Well, it's in melee right now, so
Oh, good.
you guys are both on altitude 1, so you can hit it with melee attacks.
So okay, yeah. Then yeah, let's do that. Regular spicy punch. Let's go. Ha! Ooh, 17 to hit.
17 will just hit.
I keep rolling all these 8s that are just 1 away from 20. With your help, we can make this happen.
If we all give our energy to Kyana, she can do
By my powers.
Yeah. 9 force damage. Okay, second punch.
9. Cool.
Hiya. Yeah, 25.
Cool.
Hiya. 10 force damage.
It's actually, by the way, it's not that big. It's like, it's big in this, it's not a sort of, it's actually size medium, but it's like as big as Finbar.
Okay.
So
Still bigger
usually
than I
rust
like my
monsters
bugs.
are like medium-sized dogs, so this is very big for a rust monster. It's definitely big enough to carry one of you guys, but you know.
Don't like that specific statement. Yeah, let's,
Feel
Did
like
I tip my hand?
foreshadowing.
bonus action, flurry of blows. Third spicy punch. Ooh, that's not good. But I do have bardic inspiration. Does that, can you use that on attacks?
Yes, any D20 roll you can use Bardic Inspiration
Okay,
on.
because I rolled a 2, which adjusts to an 11, and
Okay, you roll a D8.
I think it's possible that we get this up over the edge.
You need a 6, 7, or 8.
I rolled a 6.
There you go, 17.
Okay, d6
You
plus
hit.
5. Hiya! That's 11 points of force damage. We're getting there. Good job. Nice work.
Okay.
And fourth and final spicy punch. 26.
Yeah, cool.
And that is another 11 points of force damage. Woo.
Okay.
All right, that's my
Not too
action,
shabby.
bonus action. And
That's
I
actually a tremendous amount of damage in a single turn.
Thank you.
This thing
I
cannot
assuming...
be that beefy.
Putting the beat down on this poor butterfly.
Oh, this poor butterfly. Yeah. Anyway,
You didn't do nothing wrong.
That was my
feel like
action,
you're
bonus
tracking
action. I assume movement is covered by just navigating around on the ship.
Yes, yeah. The
So-
only one who's using any movement here is Virla. Everyone else has assumed that as long as you guys are on the same altitude, that you can just get in range with it.
Okay,
Okay.
well, that's my turn then.
Okay. That ends Kyana's turn and brings us to Finbar.
Okay. Let's just make it easier for everyone to hit, and I needed to make a dex save as, once again, Fairy Fire.
Okay. Dex save. It's not tremendous at these.
DC 17.
13.
That's a fail. Once again, short little whistle, fairies come out, throw pixies come out, throw pixie dust on it. It's lit up. Should be a lot easier to hit now. That was action. Nothing crazy for my bonus action. Because everyone's fine in terms of hit points, right?
Everyone's
Yeah.
doing all right
Yeah, I
so
think
far?
everyone's rocking
Yeah.
some temp HP still.
Yeah.
For
the most part.
then, no, that's it. That's my turn.
Okay. That brings us to 11.
Yo. Let's see. Things seem to be pretty freaking violent down here, so I'm going to start like pacing myself a little bit more with spell casting and just go for a. I'll pull out one of the smallest punch cards, throw in a diss track, and give them some vicious mockery.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a whiz save.
Yeah.
Dom, you
Now,
know.
believe it or not, the big rusty bug, not so good on the wisdom.
You know we gotta hear what this diss track sounds like.
Ooh, natural 18 though, rolled a 17.
No!
I think
Oh,
that's gonna
gosh.
save.
You know, cutting words.
Yep,
do
that
you?
does save.
I guess it doesn't work on this.
Cutting words works on saving throws, and you are a Lord Bard. A lore
you
bard,
could.
excuse me.
You
Well,
have
the
a
Lord
Lord
Bard.
You have a reaction. I used to play a lot of bards back in my day. You have a
You know, back in my day,
depending on what your DC is.
Oh yeah, cutting words.
we didn't have schools.
Go yell some
we
grass,
had
old man.
prestige classes.
Oh yeah, okay. So I can do that. Cutting words. You are a insufficient moth creature.
Scandalous.
All right, you're gonna. So you have to roll a cutting word, so that's your D8. Go ahead and spend an inspiration, and you can roll cutting words D8. Subtract from the 17. But
He was on 17, so anything I roll is
as
gonna.
anything, actually, yeah, you know you're right. Yeah, so go ahead. Gonna take some psychic damage.
Nice.
More like moth nah.
Single
That-
tear
that-
rolls down its little
I think
beak.
that hurt all of us with your cutting words. Vicious mockery. All right. I don't see. That was actually kind of a waste because vicious. Okay, it was 5 points. 5 whole points of psychic damage.
All right, and it has no reaction, I believe.
No.
It's too busy. Just being like, it's okay.
Too-
It's
It
just
takes it too
discourse.
hard.
It's
You have a life.
its big
you don't need to be
fluffy
mad.
antenna, like start to like go, give like a little buzz.
It's
Yeah, you should feel bad.
almost cute.
As giant rust moths go, I've seen better.
Oh, that's
Now that
tragic.
ain't nice.
Pretty harsh. It's actually pretty smart. Virla, you're up.
Okay.
If you want to increase the AC of everyone on the ship, or if you want to try and move away from it, you can use your movement to make a contested check right here.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
All right, so go ahead and roll the contested check.
Did we skip me?
Did we skip you? No, you're after Virla.
I have a higher dex
Wait,
than him.
no, sorry.
No.
I swear I did move it. So actually, my mistake though. Danny, you are up, and then Virla.
Sorry,
so
not
we'll
to
go ahead and
make you not
roll.
move.
I'm gonna keep the roll for that, Virla.
Okay.
We'll resolve it after
So,
Danny's turn.
I don't remember. I'm gonna have to roll again. I apologize.
I'm gonna take a shot at the guy with the Spitfire.
Cool, go for
He's
it.
very
He has a
tired,
plus
right?
2 to his AC. Correct, you have advantage, but he has a plus 2 to his AC because he used his maneuvering. So this is like you guys are moving and kind of tumbling through space, and he's kind of like playing the mast and stuff like that. So,
Does a 25 hit?
Ha!
yeah, even with the plus 2 to AC.
Yeah.
Ooh! That's max. That's gonna be 13 points of necrotic damage.
Pachoo.
What does necrotic look like on a rust monster? Like, I guess you just see a hole start to open in it, like you know, like metal, like it's like the rust accelerates. And you see a hole start to open in what was a chitinous exoskeleton, almost opens like it's a rusting metal.
You know what it looks like whenever Superman gets shot with a kryptonite bullet? It's like that.
Crazy that you could say that. It's like, oh yeah, he's been shot with enough kryptonite bullets. We all know it's up.
It's shocking how frequently they do that.
Yeah.
Honestly, it seems like idea 1 though. Like, you don't need that much
We've
kryptonite.
gotta continue
Yeah.
playing the actual game Dungeons and Dragons and not talking about Superman getting.
Anyway, does that end your turn, Virla? Danny.
Oh,
Actually, I'm Danny.
wonder who's the
kill
favorite.
you.
We just
What is your turn? Y'all done? Y'all done?
You done?
never.
You finished?
No. No,
You're
I
doing
got no more
bits?
bits. Obviously.
Cool. Virla, you're up.
I'm Danny, actually. All right, yeah, I'll do the contested movement check. Try and gain some altitude. Nah, increase the AC. How about that? Because you guys are pummeling into it pretty decently.
Yeah. Be nice if none of us got dragged away by a giant bug.
10.
What's up?
10.
He did roll higher. He rolled a 14.
Yeah, okay.
But he is rolling worse.
So you don't increase the AC, and you don't pull away at all.
That is my
That's your
movement, though, right?
though.
Okay,
So you have an
yeah,
action.
yeah.
Keep in mind though that you are contained within the bubble, so spells are.
Am I within? Well, yeah. If
If
Kyana's
you're
within
helming,
melee.
then you're in the bubble.
Yeah. I'll do another mind whip. Why not?
Why not?
Okay, it's an intelligence save.
Yeah. Another 16. Surely it can't be that smart.
Dirty 20.
Why not the win?
Fuck you.
Yay.
Well, that's good.
All right,
now we
half.
know the bug is smart enough to be insulted.
Half of 3d6. That's not great. 7, so 3.
All right, takes 3 points. You dig in, and somehow you feel like he's a little distracted by the insult he just got from. This is so stupid. It's a big bug. Too distracted by the insults to feel the psychic pain.
It's the right of all sentient beings to be insulted.
Oh, man. That's my turn.
Cool. That brings us to the behemoth. He's going to attack. He's just gonna go for whoever seems convenient. So we'll roll again to see which of you 4 who's not Virla in total cover he goes for. It's Helen again. Helen again.
Almost.
So
Helen.
here we go.
When did you get here?
Helen.
That's the third head.
Athletics.
she
He's
is.
gonna try to grapple you again.
It's
He's gonna
just
try
a
to grapple you
fidget
again.
spinner on a body at each.
Aw.
He's gonna try to grapple you again. So go ahead and make an athletics or acrobatics check.
16.
That is gonna beat my 8.
Okay.
And then he'll just go. He'll go for the tail. He's not going to grab you with the tail, so he'll go for the tail head. 19 to hit you.
That is going to hit me.
Okay, you take 14 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay, well, as I sail across the deck, the heads once again do their little 180-degree flip, and a very angry Warlord Vice is returned to the field.
Yay!
Yay. I like 11.
I like
All right.
11 too, but Vice
And
is
then
just
he's-
such a vibe.
Is he really?
He's going to try to pull away. Virla, go ahead and make a contested check.
Okay.
You filthy bug,
that's
I will
better.
squash you.
Yeah, see?
21.
21.
He rolled a natural 1.
Hey.
So,
Okay.
not even with his high bonus, is not going to beat you. So he does not pull away or gain +2 to AC for this round. That is
Okay.
his action and his movement. That ends his turn, thus bringing us back to Kyana. You guys are still both on altitude 1.
Come
More
on,
punching.
Kyana.
Be very funny if this whole fight, the whole mechanic never comes up.
Well, we've been doing it. It's just that it hasn't.
We just really don't want him grabbing anybody. That would be bad. Punch one.
I was going to say, the thing is, he doesn't want to leave until he's got a snack.
It's fair. 17 to hit.
Everything's at advantage
17
right now.
is going to... Wait. 17's going to hit.
Yes. 11
you do
points of
have
force
advantage, yeah.
damage. I what?
Okay. You had advantage because he's very fired.
Oh, just in case it's like a crit. No, it's in fact just slightly better.
Okay.
So,
So 11 points of force damage, not bad.
yep. Okay.
Second attack.
Second punch. Well, that's definitely a miss. It's a critical fail.
Yeah, that'll
At
miss.
That
advantage?
die was rolling so well. That one,
Oh, yeah,
second
even
one's
at
not
advantage.
advantage because it was fairy fire.
No, they're all
for-
at
They're all at
advantage
advantage.
because
They are?
fairy fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Never mind.
guiding bolt goes away after 1 hit. Fairy fire's concentration stays
Never
up.
mind.
So
19 to
yeah, good
hit.
call. Good call, Sophia. Yeah, that'll
Hiya!
hit.
That's
on
10
it.
points of force damage.
Can't sneak that shit past
Got
me.
it.
How much? Say it again. 10.
10, yes. I can use my last key point to just do more punches, and then next turn I can use my... Or no. It's targeting all of us. I'm going to use patient defense.
Okay.
Would really like to not get grabbed and dropped.
Meh. Yeah, dropped is a strong word. You're in empty space. It would just be falling.
Oh, that's so
Finbar,
much
you're up.
better. Then I wouldn't hit the ground, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Bonus action.
Well, much like a squirrel, you have to starve to death.
Oh, jeez.
Tentacle whip comes right out again. And we're gonna hit him. We're just gonna hit him. Okay. That is a 21 to hit.
Okay, that's gonna hit.
Wow. Okay. And the swarm. That is all ones on the die.
Wow.
For a total of 7.
All right, 7 damage. A whip comes out, grabs wing, but pulls free as, like, you notice that the wing is made of just, like, a bunch of flakes of rust. Just like actual butterflies, their wings are just made of scales. Just kind of, like, pulls through.
Yeah. No, that's all I got.
Amazing. 11, Vice.
Vice is pissed. It's like, we do not have time to waste with insects. He's going to cast,
Stop.
however you pronounce this, Rowland's Psychic Lance at level 5.
Jesus Christ.
Poor 11. Vice is burning through all of his spell slots.
Yeah, well, he has patience issues. So it's a 17 intelligence to beat.
All right. This is a big one, so I'll go ahead and roll in front of the group.
Yeah, boy.
Oh,
Okay.
that's a
There we go.
failure, baby.
Yeah, that was not so good.
No, sir. All right, let's do some damage.
You know, it's funny. Normally when bad guys call people insects, it's not actually literally accurate. It's just like, you are all as ants before
Yeah, more
me.
about metaphorical sort of.
Yeah.
8d6 for a total of
Jesus Christ.
32 damage. It also paralyzes them until their next turn.
Bye.
Okay, so its speed becomes 0.
Nice.
We're just gonna make. I don't think it can make a check.
So is it just like dropping?
The name of the game
guess it's just
is
false.
paralyzing or pushing or teleporting somewhere else, okay? We are moving and they are not.
Okay. Holy.
Damn. Okay. I'm gonna. Okay, let me just double check my ruling here real quick on how, because its speed is 0, it adds nothing to the roll. So here's what's gonna happen on Virla's. Dani's gonna get to go. It's frozen in space basically. Dani's gonna get to go. On Virla's turn, you're gonna roll. It
Yeah.
rolls with +0. You roll with +4. If you can beat it, I'm going to say you could just pull away and leave it behind. And that'll be the end of. And then it's going to... And then it'll try again on its turn, actually. There's going to be 2 rolls. You have 2 chances to just leave it behind. So,
cool.
Dani, go ahead if you want to try and...
Take a pot shot at it with a Spitfire.
Sure. Add advantage because it's frozen and also very fired.
I'm gonna roll. I bought a set of Dispel dice, which is the single most expensive D&D related item I've ever purchased in my life, and I'm gonna try them out on this advantage roll to see. It didn't roll badly, but the regular Dani dice did just roll a natural 20, so that's gonna be.
Hey-oh!
There we go.
So that's max
what I like to
damage
see.
On the Spitfire.
plus the roll.
So 13.
Yeah. So
plus
go ahead.
13 plus 11 for 24 points of necrotic damage.
Holy.
This thing is so close. You just blast a hole right through its abdomen. Do you have any other damage? This thing, I mean, you don't have to. You're probably going to leave it behind, but this thing is also very close to death.
Is it close enough to the ship that Plug could hit it?
Yeah.
Yes. Can we please keep the trend of Plug getting bloodlust in the Hell Dimensions?
Plug will, let me just double check to make sure. Ranged weapon attack. It's an advantage because it's very fired.
Yeah, advantage.
Yeah.
Like it's a 19 plus 4 for a 23 to hit.
Yeah, that'll hit.
1d4
That'll
plus
do,
2 force damage.
That won't do it.
Even if it rolled a 4 plus 2 for 6 points of force damage.
Oh, it's really close. Single digits.
I don't have anything else I can add to it. I can't add any damage to stuff. I'm sorry, Plug. It wasn't
Fair
meant to
enough. Dani just boom fucks this thing up. It begins to spiral off. Virla, if you want to use something to kill it, or if you want to just try to leave it
Big
behind,
fly swatter.
it's gonna be rolling with a plus 0.
Nah. Let's roll. Let's get out of here.
Give Plug a little
All right, go ahead and roll.
scrub on his
I'm
head
gonna just
for a
roll
job
1d20
well done.
in the chat. It adds
Oh
nothing.
my god, are you fucking serious? Okay, thank god. I rolled a natural 7, plus 4 is 11, so we're good.
Nice.
Boom! You twist the ship. Instead of smacking into the glass dome that you're sitting in and maybe cracking it, it whizzes past and just tumbles off into
not a
space.
bug on the windshield.
And you guys enter fully out of combat. Congrats into the space of Thuldanin. Welcome to the second layer where everything is here to kill you.
Okay.
As combat drops.
Okay.
I mean, let's look now. Let's go. Let's do this.
This place rocks.
There's that brief pause as everything comes down.
Hex.
And you hear Ellie said Ellie.
So
you hear
close.
Emmy said Ellie's my kid.
Yes.
You hear Emmy says like,
Yeah.
"Oh right. Sorry, it's just wow. You know, before yesterday I'd never even left my workshop, and now I've been to 4 different worlds. It's just a lot to take in."
She gets it.
Never a dull day with us, Emmy. But please, time is of the essence.
Seriously, what are you guys
Certainly.
doing here?
Oh yeah.
we're looking for a
I'll
ship.
explain
Oh.
to Vice the Cliff's notes. Crashed Spelljammer, similar to this one, sort of helping out our bud. Anyway.
And buddy,
You hear
I'm looking for a little special something that maybe with your hell connections you might actually be able to help me get my hands on. We'll offline about it.
That sounds like something to do over the first hour, which is going to take place. Noir, I'm going to need you to do a couple things. The first thing I'm going to need you to do is roll me 2d12 to see where on the plane you emerged, and I need you to give them to me in order, so one at a time, please.
Okay, where are my d12?
Also, I was in fact correct. The mechanic didn't matter. D6s. There we go. Next time.
Next time, baby.
Okay. The first one that I'm giving you is an 11,
Okay.
and then a 10. Not great.
Do you guys see the map of Thuldanin that I threw up for you there?
Yep.
The hex grid, we got it.
Yep, the hex grid. Okay. That is where you are, and you are attempting to navigate. There are... what's going to happen now is each of these hexes takes an hour for Emmy to explore.
Oh my god.
She
okay.
can follow a trail. You're going to roll an Arcana check for every movement. That is going to tell me how directly she moves towards your goal, and whether or not, if there's a failure, you'll move in a random direction. It's also going to tell me if you have a chance of how thoroughly she investigates, like how quickly she can like get through space. It's also going to tell me if you're going to be rolling for random encounters. So Emmy rolls +8 for your very first roll, and the DCs have all been lowered by 5. So actually, let me get the navigation mechanics up. So go ahead and roll your first Arcana check.
Okay, +8. 18 + 8, 26.
That's
26.
good.
I'm keeping you,
Give me 1 second.
Mr. Die.
Yeah.
So how did you become a warlord of hell?
Yeah, exactly.
Vice?
What were the steps involved in that?
Oh god.
Please network your way out from under being Otto's.
Roughly 3 decades of conquest.
Ooh.
Like on a train
were
or a
you-
motorcycle, or like what kind of conquest are we talking about?
I sat upon the largest, finest super battle wagon on all of hell.
Oh, so cool.
Okay, all right.
Were you born in Were you born in Beitor? You are.
Molded by it?
No,
I did
because
not see
mechanized.
not that until I was an adult.
I see.
Wow.
You have a very
I was
interesting.
originally born on the planet none of your fucking business.
I think I'm gonna go mix next.
Hey!
All right, Austin. What's the cheese?
Yeah.
You
the
rolled.
cheese?
You rolled a 26.
26.
Yes.
With the reduced DC, that is high enough that you move in the correct direction.
We found
and
it.
you avoid
got
having
it.
to roll for any random encounters.
Awesome.
That is the first hour. By the way, if anyone wants to take any short rests, of course, during this hour, you can be doing that.
All right, so 24 of these, and we're gonna have to roll for
We're
acid
gonna
or
be in
whatever.
trouble, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, everybody, strap in. I suppose this might take a while. All right, another Arcana check.
Go for it. Another Arcana check.
That's a 16, 22 or 24.
Woo!
Okay.
We were
24
here.
is enough to move in the correct direction, but as Emmy takes some time here, there is the chance of a random encounter. So go ahead and roll me a d12.
Yes, sir. Mistra, give me strength. 11.
For the random encounter table, 11s and 12s are hits random encounter, which means we're hitting one of them.
Come on,
Oh,
man.
god damn it.
Could you please roll me a d6?
All right.
When you say encounter, do you mean combat or do you mean it's just we run into something?
Could be either.
Ein. Nummer ein. One.
One. Ooh, okay. This is very cool. As you're sailing, Emmy is confident of the way to go, but you can tell that there is like kind of a storm going on. The rest of you do need to go below decks to avoid going into it. There's damage would be dealt over a period of time in this storm because the winds are whipping razor sharp like flakes of rust through the air.
Woo.
But if you guys all go below decks, which I assume you do, and the ship has has a damage threshold high enough that each minute doesn't actually accumulate any damage beyond like cosmetic.
Okay.
Ah.
So there's actually no damage dealt to anyone, but your next navigation check is going to be with disadvantage.
Okay.
Okay.
And you cannot roll that one again. So if you roll an 11 and a
one.
1 again, we re-roll.
Gotcha.
So
Is the plan you intend to sail in circles till you find your friend?
I think we're going in a
you
straight
do
line.
move one closer as you approach. So
Yeah. So what we're looking for is a crashed ship like this one. I don't think we know much else about it, right, guys? A lot of stuff was happening.
Natural 20.
Natural 20.
at disadvantage.
Oh, fuck.
Why you gotta rip his dreams away from him? Why don't you? Where we at?
19.
Okay, so you do continue to a total of 19.
Yeah.
Cool. So you do continue to move in the correct direction, and can you just roll me a d4?
A D4, sure.
Yeah, because this is you're not taking the shortest distance. You're going in the correct direction, but there's a choice between the two grids that you can enter.
3.
3. Okay. So you're going to go up here. And I do need, let's mix it up a little bit. Red, do you want to roll the D12 to see if we hit a random encounter in this
Sure.
square?
What could possibly go wrong? 12.
No.
Oh, great. Here
I'm
we
sorry, that might have been
Roll
my
me a
lucky
D6.
barbarian hit die.
Roll me a
Roll.
D6.
Roll
Roll
another
your
d6.
D6.
Here's another something happening.
1?
We can't do one.
Do we
We
roll?
reroll.
Oh no, there's a different table for
Is it
that.
reroll?
Oh, that was
or
a
is
different one.
Doesn't happen. What?
Austin's
It does?
You,
I don't
Oh,
like this.
I didn't realize there were two
You-
different tables for 11 and 12.
yeah, 11 and 12 have two different tables. So 11 is, and I'll tell you now that you've rolled on both of them. 11 is setbacks or like role playing or exploration encounters that could go like that could be neutral, that could be a little bit of a setback, things like that. 12 is like bad shit happens. As you've been sailing, it's now 3 hours in. You've discussed, hung out, you've heard the ringing of the cubes, and you've seen many cubes smash into each other multiple times. Usually it's way off in the distance, and when they do, they just kind of bounce off, and like bits kind of like float off of them.
Don't tell me.
As you are flying past,
Don't do it.
Oh boy.
you see two cubes moderate. It's pretty small size, honestly, for these cubes. Some of them are as big as like a continent. Some of them are as big as a city. So these are two like smaller ones. You see are moving towards each other, and the angle and the wear on both of them, as they approach, you see the corners touch and they crumble. And suddenly the air is filled with debris as stuff like the impact sends it raining down at you. As bad as the flay wind was from that last encounter, this is 1,000 times worse. We're entering a skill challenge to try and avoid the storm.
Fuck
So,
Everybody
as you
brace
guys
for
all hear it, and you
turbulence.
rush to death. We have. I'm going to set up the skill challenge. And anyone who would like to participate, Dom, I'll let you know how skill challenges work. Is you can use any of your skills on your list, or potentially a spell or a class feature. Some of those also work. You tell me how you want to use it to overcome the problem you're facing. I say yes, no. We set a DC. You roll. If you succeed, it goes on the successes. If you fail, it goes on the failures. There's a certain amount of successes you need to get out of this. At a certain amount of failures, something bad is going to happen, and it's always 3 failures. So there's a certain amount of successes you need to get out. 3 failures means you fail. So I'll set that up, and anyone who has any ideas on what they want to contribute right off the dome, definitely a piloting check.
Yeah, I'll start
from
with
Virla
that.
is probably the best thing, but there's also, I'm sure you have many creative solutions. So we're going to start with a piloting check.
Yeah. Is it still... Oh, wait, no. What is my piloting? I don't know if I have piloting, actually.
You're proficient.
I am proficient,
in
yes.
vehicles. So
plus
it's your
4.
intelligence for your spellcasting plus your proficiency. So I think that's what, plus 7 or 8? Plus 8?
Intelligence 8 plus 8, yeah.
Cool. So this is sudden, and there's a lot coming at you. This is like flying through asteroid field kind of situation. So I'm going to set the DC at 20. Go ahead and roll.
On Virla.
Okay. 12 plus 8 is 20.
Just succeeds. You
Yeah.
immediately, as you've kind of fallen into a lull here, right? It's definitely a high alert situation, but even so, Emmy is guiding you. You know this ship, and this is hour 3, by the way. We have to keep track, because keeping in mind that each hour you fly after 8 is like traveling. You can start accumulating exhaustion.
I've been marking off the hexes that we've traveled, so that can also
Exactly. So after 8
count as-
hexes, you'll need to start making. But you snap to attention and immediately move away from what would be. There's like a full half of a cube that is flying at you, and immediately you skirt out of that into the debris field. So that is first success. As you kind of take over everyone who is below decks or on deck, you immediately feel like it's an elevator that stopped too fast. The whole ship lurches. You kind of feel like your guts go and the knees buckle, and then rights itself as you like almost drift and spin. And now everyone's aware something's going on. Anyone who'd like to contribute, raise your hand.
I got an idea.
I have.
You don't
a
actually have to
concept,
literally
yeah.
raise your hand.
Yeah.
What's up?
I don't know how useful this would be. I can pop on the visage of the astral self, which gives me astral sight, so I can see through darkness, magical and non-magical. I also hope it provides some eye protection against flying random schmutz. And if I could sort of act as a lookout, trying to keep an eye out for stuff, steer away, or possibly just
Punch debris.
That's what I was thinking, legitimately. If I can use my where is it? The reaction lets me catch things. Missile defense kind of thing.
Deflect
Yeah.
missiles.
Both of those seem viable to me.
Yeah.
So I'd ask you only make one, and then we'll go to someone else. But
And then-
go ahead
yeah.
and pick whichever. It's going to
So-
be one is going to be like a perception, but I'd say it's a little bit easier to like see what's. So I'm going to say it's a lower DC perception or slightly higher DC acrobatics to do the grabbing thing. So up to you whether you want to do the thing you're better at a higher DC or the thing you're worse at a lower DC.
I'd like to post up at the front of the ship and try to just basically continually use my deflect missiles reaction to basically. So what that consistently does is it reduces damage by 1d10 plus 11. So I guess the way you would
Yes.
stat it is
So
like
we're-
if it's small, it's just not a problem. But if it's something bigger, it might be dicier.
Yes, we're going to use, it's not going to be a literal reducing damage like that. We're using
Right.
this feature with an acrobatics check. I'd say go ahead, if you spend a key point, I'll allow you to do it so that you have that 10-foot reach.
Yes.
And then we're going to do, because you've got that 10-foot reach, I'm going to say it's an acrobatics check, and it's just going to be an 18.
Okay, my acrobatics is +7, and I do still have an inspiration in the back pocket, but it's not the bardic one. It's just something else.
Good, yes, because the bardic have all expired at this
Right.
point.
Yes. Okay.
But your short rest should mean you have all of your bardic back and your key back.
I've got all my key back. Yeah. So
Excellent.
gonna. Oh, okay. Cool. That's a dirty 20.
Cool, dirty 20, second success. You see Kyana, battle ready as ever, runs up, and as shards are starting to fly, and Virla, you're like, oh god, these are gonna pierce not just the ship, but like the dome that protects you. You see
Ruh-roh.
Golden Arm comes out, grabs one, and just flings it out of the way, and she's just kind of like standing on the, Kyana's just standing on the bow and can kind of like prevent the worst of it from getting at, like the ship is still gonna be hit, right?
Yeah.
But and for every fail, there's going to be some damage on the ship. But the helm is still viewable, so she's doing a good job there because it's not getting cracked.
Meteor
There's a
defense.
TikTok sound that's just like
like-
someone punching. You're like,
Second ever rolling with difficulty TikTok.
yes, Dom.
What would
What's
it
up, Dom?
take? What would I have to do to convince you to let me increase the size of my shield around the ship?
Ooh.
Shield
Kind
is
of
a
a-
first level spell. That is pushing a little bit of the. I like where your head's at. That's exactly the kind of creative thing. But there's we need a bigger spell or a smaller ass.
Kind of.
One of those two things.
Kind of in that vein, because I have the spell Wind Wall, which
Yes.
Oh shit! Yeah.
could
No,
be
there we
used
go.
to make, like, because technically in the description of the spells it has to be continuous path along the ground. Is there any way I can make it like continuous path around the Aspera or in some way on us to like
Yeah.
deflect
You want
the worst of the debris?
Yeah, I mean, imagine it's a wall, right? Like it's like a what? It's like 1 foot thick and like 10 foot high or
1
something
foot
like
thick,
that.
50 feet long, 15 feet high.
Okay, yeah. So you could wrap instead of imagining it being perpendicular to the hull of the ship.
Yeah.
I'm imagining
Like wrap,
you basically
like,
make it
up.
parallel, basically.
Yeah.
So it's just this wind buffer around the entire ship.
That's basically kind of what I want to do.
I'm gonna say this is totally possible. You're bending the spell like a little bit. So go ahead and make me an Arcana check, but I'm only gonna set a DC 12.
Cool. I have a +8 to Arcana. And that is a natural
Yeah,
16.
this
so
is-
that succeeds.
There you go. Yeah, the spell is to prevent projectiles from getting through it. So this is exactly
Yes.
what it's for. The only thing you're trying to bend is like, can I get it instead of being like, this? Can it just be like a little bit of a steeper
Gravity's
angle?
so weird
and that's
here.
exactly what you get.
That is a spell that is automatically
success.
prepared for my Artificer subclass.
Yeah.
I did not
What does it
choose
look like? I'm sure they've never seen Dani attempt this, nor will they ever again. What does it look like when Dani attempts? Not attempts, succeeds at a wind wall.
I imagine
Finbar
it's
knows this spell.
like-
Like, I unprepared this spell this morning.
Wow.
Get a little of this, Finbar. Just No, I imagine it looks like it's wind. You know, it's a wall of wind. It's pretty hard to change the aesthetic of that, but it almost appears like
Wow, it's a real
steam
word picture.
releasing out of a vent, and it looks like there's like clouds of soot and stuff mixed in, as though it's sort of like the exhaust pipe of a car or something. Like it's not really like
Like it's
clean
ventilating?
air. It's,
That's really dope.
It's kind of like musky.
That's pretty. It's like really gross, you know. Anyway, that's
Yeah.
really dope. All right.
Fantastic.
That's 3 successes. You guys are doing really well. No failures yet, which would
Don't
be
jinx
damage
it.
to the ship. So
Don't jinx it.
could go ahead and who else would like to contribute? Everyone doesn't have to go once before we go. People have other ideas, you know. So not everyone is equally suited to every skill challenge. So
Right.
you know.
Danny, we've prepared for this. Overclock the ship again.
No,
Say less.
I mean, there is the perception. There is the keeping the lookout Finbar. If you want to try that.
Something
To
might
be Yeah,
Try to
exactly.
sneak in.
It's a fairly high DC because you have to be like, you know, big stuff Virla can see.
I'm
pretty
picturing
easily. So
Finbar.
you're looking for the surprise thing that might hit you, but you
guide
totally could use.
myself on this.
I'll allow it. Yes.
Okay.
I'm picturing Finbar
I've-
standing at like
Yeah, guidance
the
has some-
bow of the ship, like in what would be the shot of Pocahontas at the top of the rock with her hair blowing in the wind, except it's Finbar and
Yeah.
he's bald, so it's just like
Nice little. Okay. Oh,
the
yeah,
beer's
that's
like.
nice.
Yeah,
Beard,
exactly.
yeah.
Just a little rustle. So yeah, go ahead and roll me perception. I'm gonna set the DC. I'm gonna set it at 22.
22. Okay.
And you have a D4 on this from your guidance.
Yes. And a plus 12.
And by the way, if there's any checks you want to throw a D8 on, I would allow inspirations to be thrown around for any of these.
Right.
nice.
All right, I guess I'll throw in a new mixtape and play the "You Got This" song.
Sure. Okay. So you're throwing an inspiration to Finbar.
You're the best.
Yeah.
Around.
Okay.
God.
It's good that it was bad because
'Cause I
that means we
rolled
can use
a-
it.
Natural 1
Oh, that's not great.
and a 1 on the guidance. Brings me up to a 14.
Ooh.
Plus the inspiration.
That's gonna be a fail.
And I'm going to use the inspiration.
Oh, okay.
So I need a 6.
Suck less so we don't die. And then
Wait, 22? You're gonna need like the whole 8,
start
aren't you?
again.
Oh, wait. you
From a
said-
14, yeah.
Oh,
It's 22.
22.
It's not impossible.
It's not impossible.
And if Danny
Not
has a flash
impossible.
of genius,
There's a roughly 1 in 8 chance of it working.
come on, man.
12.5.
It's a 1.
Oh
Sorry, man.
no, it wasn't meant to be.
How many 1s have I rolled tonight? Normally, at
Well, that
any
was
other
3 in a
table,
row.
Yeah.
You expect a lot of 1s from me, but like, okay,
Finbar,
Okay.
fine.
what do your
Alright.
highly trained eyes see?
I can't hear you because of the wind wall, and I'm just squinting, looking through all these rocks. I'm like,
Do you see
what's going on?
anything?
So,
Oh god.
all
Oh
this
god.
Alright.
rust in my eyes. I don't like this.
We're going to go ahead and roll. What is it? Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna roll for that one failure. We're gonna roll 3d8. This is piercing damage to the hull.
Oh man. All right.
But I rolled like shit. I rolled 7, which means it
Nice.
does not. The damage threshold is 15, I
15.
think. Yeah.
Yep.
So
Okay.
I did not roll high enough to actually even damage the ship. So good on you guys.
Perfect.
Cool.
How many successes? We have 3 successes.
One
We
failure.
Three
still have
successes,
3,
one
yeah.
failure.
Failure. Yeah.
All right.
Anyone else have anything they'd like to contribute?
Is there a way I could like make a tools check of some kind or something similar to like push the shields of the ship a little bit and like give them a little boost while we're going through this dust storm? Like mild
Yeah, I'd say it's
overclock.
difficult to do that, but it's totally possible because you do have some like it's meant for like basic environmental effects, right? It doesn't protect against the enchanted winds of pandemonium, but it does keep out the heat of hell, right? So go ahead and roll me a tools check, DC 25.
Okay. I add
This one's pretty hard.
12 to this.
You know.
Okay. 12 plus 12 is 24, but with my flash of genius, that becomes a
There we
28.
go.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. You see, Dani doing a lot of problem solving here, sets up the wind wall, and then goes downstairs and, begins steam pouring out of vents, furiously cranking things up. And you can almost see now, Virla looking out the front, you can almost see like a shimmer kind of appearing as shields are kind of like redirected here. And bits
Direct more power to the
splinters
shields,
that
Captain.
were
Forward
getting
shields.
through, that Kyana...
I'm giving her all I got.
Splinters that Kyana...
I'm sorry.
Splinters Kyana wasn't able to catch. You're totally fine. Splinters Kyana wasn't able to catch that were just getting through. Start to kind of like sprinkle off the shield
Amazing.
there. It won't last long, but it'll probably last you through this. All right. Next.
Can I peer into
I'll tell you,
the
you need
weeds?
6 successes. You're almost there. Can you peer the weeds? Yeah.
No.
Please
I
peer
think that's
into the weeds.
insane.
Where's Delphine?
Yeah.
What's she doing?
She's just chilling. She's just chilling down here.
She's got two
she's got
cucumber slices
cucumbers
over
on
her
her
eyes. Girl from Ipanema blasting in the background. She doesn't even know what's going on.
This is... I'm not even that good at it. Well, okay, so... This isn't a storm, right? This is 2 cubes crashing into each other and, like, just through weird gravity stuff? Or is it, like, through wind? It's
through like weird gravity stuff.
Okay,
they're all
never mind
spewing apart as like there were 2 gravitational poles that got destroyed when these things bumped into each other. So now they're just flying apart. But it's storm-like. What were you thinking?
Well, my idea was that, like, a nature or a survival check, if the debris was being carried by air currents, then if one could detect the air currents, one can sort of, like, either predict where the debris, like, maneuver the ship out of the way to not intersect with those air currents, or, predict where the debris is going to be,
Could even be
something
an
like that.
investigation check.
I dig you. That's just kind of a perception check like Finbar did before.
Okay.
But everyone's, 2 different people make the check, so you can attempt the same perception check that Finbar attempted before if you'd like.
I have a +2,
Virla.
so I might
Anyone,
hold
I
off.
was going to say anyone can attempt it, by the way, can attempt
Yeah.
that 22 perception check.
I have a plus. You have no idea how upset I am. I have a +12 to this.
Can I make a...
Can I do the same thing, but with
I got 22 on
investigation?
deception.
Oh.
You got what?
I got the needed 22.
You did.
Yeah.
Oh,
hey,
okay, there we
perfect.
go. How and is it 11 or is it
It's Vice right now.
It's Vice. Okay, and how does Vice perceive, like, is this like sort of like a is this like a you're used to like the battle, like moving battles in hell kind of
Yeah,
situation,
he's-
and like you can kind of see what's coming?
Sure. So he's probably like dramatically climbed up the mast to survey the
Perfect.
battleground at this point. So he's sort of surveying.
Fantastic. Yeah. So you're able to look out and like, there's regular storms of like meteors and shit in hell. So you're not like disused to this whole idea of having to look at incoming projectiles and just weave around them. You're usually doing it in a big fucking like tank, but the ship, same principle, and you're able to call out to Virla to avoid this stuff. That's super awesome. We need one more success for you guys to be out of it, or we're gonna roll.
Can I make a persuasion check
was
on
this?
Delphine to get her to give us a hand?
Yeah.
I'm not kidding. I have a +5 to
What do you
persuasion. I'm
want her
trying to think
do?
of a reason.
Call someone?
Call Mistra.
Could you like throw money at the problem or something? I don't know. You seem like a rich lady.
Is it reasonable to sort of assume that so far we haven't really been so much looking for a way out as we're just dodging debris? I guess given how this
Yeah,
could
sure.
be potentially...
You're going through. There's very little
Yeah.
way to go around. It's the
Could-
narrative, right? So
Could
if
I
you succeed on
investigate?
this last one, you'll have made it out.
Could I investigate for a way out, like actually
there
like
it is.
Go
a
ahead.
clear
I'm gonna
space?
set the
Conspiracy
same.
boarding.
I'm gonna set the same DC as the perception check, as like you
Yes, sir.
avoid as you come around, avoid a particularly sharp piece that was kind of spinning in such a way it was. It didn't look like it was gonna hit you, but you're able to avoid it with that perception check from the last one. Now you kind of slow down and are looking for a way out now that the worst of it is past you. Go ahead and roll the investigation.
Okay.
don't
What was
have,
the DC? 22?
22. You don't have docent's advantage anymore.
I don't. He will be missed. Rip in peace, buddy. Ooh, 16 plus 8, 24.
Nice.
There we go.
You spin through, see the opening, and just clock it, Dani, down in the engine room. You watch all the like pipes go like boom, boom, boom.
God
as
damn
he
it.
just pours magical energy into it, and you come out on the other side. You hear him, he goes, "Whoa, that was exciting."
Please tell me we're on the right track now, Emmy.
Still got the trail. It's
Okay.
kind of hard to explain. It's like well, I've never actually eaten anything, but it's like an aftertaste.
Well, that's very perceptive of you to know what an aftertaste is without having tasted anything.
Oh,
I've talked to people who have eaten things before.
I bet you her creator was the kind of guy to talk about mouthfeel.
Flashback to the.
That is Casimir. All right, press on then. Oh, do you
Press
feel
on.
do you feel the signal getting at all stronger?
Definitely.
Okay.
Like less of an aftertaste.
Okay.
More of
Let's
like
continue.
a taste.
Well.
All right,
take
go
you-
ahead and roll your Arcana.
I'll take you at your word.
What?
17 plus 8, 25?
25 is high enough. Not only do you move in the shortest possible distance, you also avoid having to roll on the random counter table.
Thank criminy.
Oh yeah.
2,
All right.
3, 4.
Doing it again then?
Is the Aspera a land vehicle or a water vehicle? What's its
vehicle.
class?
vehicle.
Either proficiency in either would allow you to use your proficiency. It's a sky vehicle that doesn't really come up in D&D, so I just say if you have any vehicle proficiency, you are proficient with flying the ship.
Okay, because I'm proficient with both. Can I help him fly it to try and maximize not dyingness?
So that is normally yes, but he is doing something very specific here where he's using an AI to sweep for signs of this old magical frequency, and it's in his head because that's where he put it. So it's kind of got to be him. But it's a good impulse. Under different circumstances, then yeah, actually you'd be very good at flying this ship. As a full caster at 9th level with proficiency, you'd be extremely adept at piloting this thing. But it just happens to be that Virla kind of has to handle
Yeah,
it right
and there's
now.
not enough space for me to like sous chef for him and take over the parts that.
No, the helm is a
think more about
one man's.
navigating.
It's actually not even a steering wheel. It's a big chair that he sits in,
Of
Star
course.
Trek style,
Engage.
and he moves it with his mind.
See, if it was Heleven, he might suggest sitting in his lap, but Vice is too dignified for that.
Would Vice be amenable to Virla sitting in his lap?
Yes, he would be against the entire suggestion.
How did you get stranded in Acheron anyway, Vice?
Focus,
This is a very unique place you found yourself in.
We're not.
We have time.
Oh yeah.
You guys have hours.
I underestimated my unpopularity on Hell. The three next largest clans united against me. We fought. Our battle wagons clashed for 3 days over 1,000 miles until my line broke and my forces scattered.
So
I refused to surrender. We were driven to the shores of the river Styx. Myself. Sorry, my monologue was ruined by Wisp. Stop that, cat.
Stop that, cat.
Only myself, Tinker, my chief engineer, and Heleven survived. I was critically wounded. Tinker transplanted my mind onto a Heleven before he dissolved in this horrific place.
Oh, that was one of my other questions. How recently have you been one body? This is a very recent addition, then.
This is my 26th hour in this little twink flame.
Well, hopefully
You should have
you will
seen
be...
me before. It was magnificent. It was 12 foot high. Guns for days.
Just
both
so
types.
hot.
The muscular types and the actual firearm.
It was an album cover and a half,
Yeah.
baby.
I was an alpha male.
I can imagine it now. I rolled a natural 20, by the way, Austin.
On the next one? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my
Unless
God.
you're making me roll with disadvantage, in which case, fuck you.
The description of
No, no,
just
no.
how hot Vice used to be is really
Yep.
kind of.
How hot he claims to have been.
Just
told me
the,
the devil would take a pleasing form.
just
Vice
the,
had an 8-pack, is what I'm just saying.
Yeah.
4
Yeah, it's very
packs
easy when you're
instead of
metal,
the
you just
usual
kinda-
2.
Yeah.
chisel it.
That's amazing.
I'm so happy this is happening. I want that fan art on my desk by Monday.
you ever considered being on I know this is a recent thing, but like if you could, because obviously you're gonna have to get a different body. Like what's like your ideal one, if you could be put onto any other thing.
This is true. This is
get
an
to, like,
opportunity
really-
for you to reimagine yourself.
You could be a motorcycle if you
more.
wanted. Even if you
To
didn't.
More,
rebrand.
don't, Danny. No.
I think Danny's upset that you're the only person who got an AI friend.
I could be a hat or a brush or a hair hat.
Smart radio.
Thinking thicker next time.
Thicker?
Thicker.
So no 8-pack, just physically bigger.
Could have an 8-pack.
I think next time I'm just gonna go for pure mass.
Like a motorcycle.
Interesting.
Quite large.
Perhaps you could
Just
become
lead.
the battle wagon.
17 plus 8, Austin, 25.
25!
On the next
Ooh.
one, 25 is also high enough to avoid having to roll on the random encounter table.
If we're taking the shortest path, I really hope that it's not like the A1 section. I'm assuming that it's like at
We
the
gotta
bottom.
go over
I
I
don't
that.
think
actually
he did
rolled
that
for the
to us.
location of it too.
So you could have
You guys are
very
taking the
well
shortest path. You
gotten
roll high
A1.
enough every time to take the shortest path.
Okay, cool.
Cracking a 20 every time takes you on the shortest path, and over a 25 will get you. I'm telling you the DCs now. Over a 25 means the shortest path and no roll.
Well,
Wow.
Okay,
let's
what's your
switch that up. 15.
Okay.
15. Okay, so go ahead and roll me. Go ahead and just roll me a D4 again, because we're gonna see
Okay.
if you go which box you move to. You're still moving in the right direction. 15 is good enough to succeed.
Yeah. 4.
4. Okay, so you move down to that one, and I will need. Let's go ahead, Sophia. Why don't you roll that D12 for me to see if we get a random encounter?
Here we
Not my
go.
responsibility. Not my fault if it happens.
1.
Yes.
Okay, there is no random encounter.
We just got
It
unlucky
takes a little-
twice.
What's up?
We got unlucky twice.
It was a
we
1
had
in
like
6
Correct.
chance. Yeah.
11 and 12 on the D12 get you random encounters. 11 is
Dang.
one table, 12 is another table. And yeah, you roll both. It was awesome.
All right.
Cool. Time passes. Dani, you're down in the engine room, and you hear a little crackle to life from your sending stone.
Pick it up.
Oh.
What?
You hear, Dani? And it's Roy's voice on the other
Ah,
side.
Roy, what's up?
Hey, are you is everything good? You good over there?
Yeah, I'm in Acheron right now. We're just sort of looking for some parts. What's up?
Don't tell him that.
What?
He's
All
got
right,
to
never
report
mind.
to Otto.
Okay. Okay. Listen, I just wanted to. There's this girl came by before looking for you, and she said she was a friend of yours, but she was all like
Ione?
spooky, and she had like a big spider. So
Cressida!
like Otto drove her
Cressida!
off. Otto was like she was like, oh, I'm looking for Dani. She's a friend, but she had like big bounty hunter vibes. So Otto was like, oh, she doesn't work here, whatever. So I just did you and then I just wanted to make sure that you're not being hunted by someone with a big spider.
Well, here's the thing. I think that she's our friend, but also, yeah, she is a bounty hunter, and that spider tracks people. I mean, it's probably. Did she say what she wanted with me, or was it just I'm looking for Dani at all costs? You know.
Okay, so she's like a friend.
Eh.
Okay, good, because I did cave and tell her that I knew you. And that she's here now. Do you want to talk to
Yeah,
her?
put her on. Put her on.
Okay. You hear Cressida's voice comes on. Hey, Dani, your friend's charming.
Aw. I ship it. Anyway.
Gross. What do you want?
Right to business. Cool. All right. At the risk of sounding stupid, because you're on the other end of this stone, you're like safe on the whacked up scale that you use to define how safe you are given your job. You're safe, right?
Looks out the porthole to the second layer.
Like, have you been kidnapped recently?
I haven't been kidnapped recently. No, I'm on, as far as I'm aware, my ship. Why? What's up?
Okay, good. I took a job here in Brass. Some mechanic who works for a guy who works for a guy who works for the people in charge. And I thought, well, he's not on Plane of Fire, otherwise Lula could have gotten him in 2 seconds. But I thought maybe he'd been poached by someone. Maybe someone knows, some rival with more money, or someone who wants to see, someone starting a war. There's always someone trying to start a fight in this stupid city.
Yeah.
So I was asking around to see if maybe anyone would know what might have happened to him. Turns out, I've got like 2 others at least minimum that I found just in the last couple days. 2 other places who are also missing their Arcano engineers. So I'm just checking to make sure that you also haven't been kidnapped. You know, because we're friends.
I appreciate it. Did they? It's mildly concerning because the last people who were kidnapping artificers and similar things were the Mind Flayers in season 1.
I mean, last year.
Season 1. That's how we measure time on the plane of fire.
Oh, yeah. I think it's called spring. Anyway.
Did they... I mean... I appreciate the heads up. I just don't really know what to make of this. I guess I can pass the message to the rest of the crew, and I'll keep an eye out.
I mean, I'm not asking you to solve it. I'm going to solve it, but I just wanted to make sure that you weren't one of the kidnapped ones.
Oh, nope. As far as I know, I am.
It's nice. It's a compliment. Say thank you.
Thanks.
She may not be
I
your
feel like
friend,
I
but
could
you're hers.
Hear the gritted teeth.
You should really talk to Mandy at the Heap. I think you guys would really get along.
I'll take it under advisement.
I guess,
I thought that was nice.
we'll probably...
Well, I've got like... Oh, go
I
on.
mean, we're probably got the pit stop back at the Heap eventually.
Well, don't get kidnapped if you do. I've got like 30 worlds to check for a missing Fire Genasi. So, I'm gonna start in Sigil.
Who's missing?
I would bet who's there.
What's the name of the
that's a
Fire
good
Genasi who's missing, Austin?
Egan.
Hey, it's just a very common name in the city of Brass. It's like John.
It is just named John.
John Smith.
Because they're all Smiths.
It's like how to describe it? It's like an employee of an employee goes by the name Vesta.
Vesta.
Oh, no one we know. Okay.
No, you don't know her.
Vesta. Alright, well, I'll keep an eye out on people kidnapping me, I guess. You need anything from Acheron?
Everyone should. What's up?
Do you need anything from Acheron? We're here. I figured, if you favor for, like, looking for parts or anything.
No. I need something from Acheron, like I need a bad headache or a broken toe.
Well, you don't have to be a bitch about it.
You have fun with that. I'm off to Sigil to see if maybe this person got a cushy gig somewhere, and then after that, I'm off to Hell to see if they got a less cushy gig.
Wait, you're going to Hell?
Probably poaching some, expert in, arcane weaponry is
Great.
pretty, I guess, pretty likely something new management down there
There's
would
this
do.
robot on our ship who needs to also go to Hell, and if you're going there and you just take him, that would make our life so much easier. One less pit stop. Maybe we could meet you in Sigil.
I will take it under advisement and let you know how it's going. How soon are you going to be in Sigil?
Slam the ship sending stone. Virla, how long do you think the rest of this adventure is going to take?
Maybe 5-6 more hours at the most.
I don't know, a day or two?
Can Virla give me a call?
I could go bring him the sending stone, I guess.
No, like when you're back.
Oh.
Like I'm not going to take the sending stone with me.
Yeah. No,
Can you call me
Virla
when
will
you're
call
back?
you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there someone else I could speak to on the other end?
Nope, it goes right to me.
All right, well, I'm glad we had this chat. I so miss our little discussions.
Really? 'Cause it seems like you don't.
Click.
Click.
Pop up to the deck,
All right.
guys, apparently someone's kidnapping artificers.
Spit take of whatever tea we were sipping.
How do you know
gently.
this?
Cressida just called on the sending stone from Otto's. She was down
Oh,
there.
how's she doing?
Wasn't Cressida employed by the Mind Flayers?
Well, that's why I was concerned,
to
because first
get
Roy
Kyana?
got on the phone and he's like, hey, some bounty hunter is here looking for you. And I was like, oh no. And then he talked about giant spider. I'm like, okay, Cressida, still not great, bounty hunter. But then she explained that she was trying to make sure I wasn't kidnapped. I don't know. We're meeting up with her in Sigil when we go back, because she's going to hell and she can take the robot.
Oh, that's convenient.
Well, I just say that because it would probably behoove you, Cressida, if she knew that possibly Mind Flayers would be after her, or at least on the trail that she is on, and then I think you should definitely warn Roy and the other people at the heap.
I think that Cressida seemed pretty aware of the danger, and also I got the impression had been there for a while.
Okay.
We should warn the heap, though. If they're just after, clever artificers.
I mean,
you're
she
not the
called
only one
from
who
the
works there.
heap. I'm sure she's passed along
Well,
some
we know Roy's safe.
relevant information.
I'm not sure Cressida would do that. I'll be completely honest.
I mean,
I think she knows the danger, but I don't think she'd tell them.
I can call the heap back, but I think it is fine. I think the message is getting passed around to some degree. For one thing, there's no way Otto doesn't try and listen in on any conversations that are happening in that place. So it probably is already important information passed along.
All right, well, we can keep an eye out.
Yeah. Okay, well, I rolled an 18, Austin, so that's a 26.
26. You continue to move in the
I love
fast...
you. I love this.
You continue to... That's not a space. That's a space. You continue to move in the shortest distance possible.
Whose war rig is this?
That depends.
you found the motorcycle?
The motorcycle.
He's been wandering around the ship.
For a quick...
There's no way I would have let it wander
Dom, for a
around
quick
the ship.
description,
No.
this looks like 1,000 of the Devil's Rides, which are the motorcycles you've seen, except where the space where you usually put in the
18.
coins that contain
On a fucking
mortal
roll.
souls to burn for fuel goes. That part has been ripped out, and there's a glowing orb that looks like one of those plasma orbs, except instead of the plasma that's in there, there's roiling fire, and then sometimes it's sea spray, and then sometimes it's just a little tornado. So it's some weird crystal orb that's sitting powering the bike where usually the infernal engine goes.
It's also got
When we get
ram's
back to
horns
hell.
for handlebars.
And it's also got golden ram's horns for handles. So it's pretty...
I'll trade you 5 slaves of a species of your choice for it.
Okay,
No.
we ain't doing that.
Tempting, but I'm gonna have to refuse.
That's so horrible!
I'm gonna think that that's a deal where you're from, and I appreciate that, but we ain't really
Could
doing
free
that.
5 people.
Man, I'm excited to send you back to hell. This is going to be
You
great.
could free 5 people. Who's got a point?
This is
well, okay.
my pet project. It's still being improved upon. You don't want it how it is now.
Also, unclear how well this dude could deliver on his promises, since he did just explain that he got thrown out of his
That's true.
war rig.
But I love the confidence,
Yeah. Well, I rolled another 18, Austin, so that's another 26.
Oh, Destiny really
I-
wants this to be a reasonably length episode.
I'm not shitting you. This,
Hey, what? Are you kidding me? I got to see 2 different I expect you guys to maybe roll 1. The fact that you got to roll 2 and it was one of them was a skill challenge. I'm very excited by that. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is our 9. You do succeed, but I am going to need you to make a Constitution saving throw against exhaustion. It's just a DC 10.
Okay. I have a +2. Now's the time. A 7.
The dice
a 7
give
plus
it.
2 is a 9.
You got a flash of cheese?
Well, since Dani is having this conversation, slams on the sending stone like, Virla, don't forget to breathe and blink and shit. It gives you a flash of genius.
I feel like I shouldn't allow breathe and blink and shit as a flash of genius.
You get so in the
will.
zone and you're you forget until you think about breathing
Yep,
and you're like,
yep.
oh my god.
By the
do
way, how many
realize-
of those do you have left, Dani? 'Cause
Dani
you've been
brand
going through those. I
self-care.
feel like.
That was my last one, so no one else
Yeah.
needed.
Well, you do realize that breathing and blinking are entirely cosmetic for me, yes?
It's about remembering to take care of yourself.
But
no
you're
matter what
feeling
form
awake.
that takes.
It's the important thing. And then off the sending stone, like,
I can go make a
you
smoothie.
can't
You
take
want a
the
smoothie?
hell
Those are
ride.
great
That
for
thing is
self-care.
staying in this
Well, I
ship. It
have-
has an illustrious drag race career now.
Yeah.
What is
Finbar's
this? Fugue sea?
Finbar's gonna run to the kitchen and bring out some ale for everyone to drink. It's like, okay, this has been a long trip, and it looks like we're getting closer. This is ethereal ale. It's served at most high-class taverns in Sigil. It's like, okay, let's keep our spirits up. This will numb a little bit of the nerves that we got going on here, but this is good for you. The drink literally evaporates on the tongue of people partaking in it, quenching thirst and providing a delightful, intoxicating effect. I'm only pouring out one for the little kitties, and I'll do two more for this mechanite that we found.
All right. Is there a mechanical effect to this, or is this just
Nope.
sharing a drink?
No,
All right.
Yeah.
We're just having a nice time.
Yes.
Just vibing.
You guys
Do we-
share a drinking camaraderie. Go on.
Do we really want to let the guy sailing us through the sea of storms get drunk at the helm? Or
I think
we're not
it's
including
one
her
beer.
in this?
I think it's meaning you. Or
No, yeah.
To be fair,
Oh,
it's very hard to get a mechanite drunk because they have advantage on against poison,
Yeah. True.
which is drunk is just like the poison condition. So it's very hard to get a mechanite drunk.
And also, I believe Finbar was giving you 2 ales because there's 2 of you, technically.
Right. Oh,
Oh,
so we
okay.
weren't including Vila in this, were we?
No.
You can have it. A little, as a treat.
okay, well, I see the text fugue sea,
Yes.
Austin. I don't know what this means.
You guys share a drink.
Hang on, I have to sort of slam myself against the wall to flip heads, so
I
they can both
kind of
have a
bring it
drink.
all in around to people.
Honk.
Thank you.
As you serve to Virla, you guys all down there drinking. Both halves of your new mechanite friend partaking. Virla, you see... First, Emmy says to you, I think we're nearly there. Sorry, I don't want to make false promises, but I've got a good feeling about this.
Woo!
I trust your judgment, Emmy. Let's proceed.
You see in the distance a cube. Not on the large side for some of the ones you've seen. Again, you've flown past ones that are like the size of, continents. This one, again, is kind of more on the city side of the size of things. But instead of drifting through air, it's kind of like slightly on a tilt and spinning. So imagine if I have my dice perfectly level, I tilt up and then the corners are spinning. So it's doing this like very slow rotation. It's not point up necessarily. It's still like one of the sides is mostly up. But in that way, it is strange. And also, it is strange in that you see it kind of looks like a waterfall, but more contained, and it kind of bends and moves through space. This long stream of water, this river really, is falling through space, but because there's no down or up here, it really just looks like it's twisting and turning, moves through, and as you approach, you see it's quite wide, splashes, just crashes across the top of this cube, flows over it like waterfalls on each side, and then comes back together on the bottom and flows out, continuing. This is recognized by you, Heleven/Vise, whoever's looking at it. You know that you're looking at the very thing that brought you to this deep lair. You're looking at the river Styx flowing down through existence, almost at the end of its journey. In fact, this is the third to... There's 2 more stops after this, and it's the last 2 layers of Acheron before it just vanishes. And this is a place that famously, you are in the scrapyard that just dumps things. This is the river Styx flowing through this plain, crashing across this cube, pitted and hollowed out, water flowing and bubbling over its surfaces, that you come to realize must house your quarry. The ship Ad Astra contained somewhere within the bowels of the cube known as the Fugue Sea.
Oh.
Wow.
If you are to find the ship, you must brave this deep dungeon guarded by the river Styx.
Oh.
Oh no.
And that's where we're going to end the episode.
Yeah, there it
It's a
is.
two-parter, and
Yes.
Dom's in it for 2 parts.
Nice. Right on a cliffhanger before we go on our break. because I forgot to mention at the top of the episode, but we are taking a 1 week break
Yes.
between episodes 5 and 6. We will be back. We promise.
Shit.
But
they gotta wait.
yeah, no, we had to just think about this for a while.
Yes. Well, I mean, you guys, we're playing just a couple days, but all you have fun stewing in it.
Nah. This could have been so much worse.
Your patience and excitement. It could. Oh my god, it could have been a lot. Do you guys want me to tell you what else is on this random table thing? Because now
save it for Patreon. Save it for Patreon.
Save it for the Patreon.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that. Okay, I'll give you one. The worst thing you could have rolled, if you'd rolled a 12 and then a 6, was a reduced threat Baylor that got washed here by the River Styx.
Oh God.
Yikes.
Oof.
Okay. Yeah, that would have been real bad.
Anyway, we're taking a week off. We will see you back in 2 weeks. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for your patience next week. And as we take mental health, and a bunch of us are going to be away and stuff, so it just makes sense logistically. Thank you to patrons and fans and support. Thank you for Dom for joining us for this episode and for the next one.
Yeah.
And we'll see you again as we delve deeper into this hellscape called Fuldenin to see what answers might lie deep within this
Yes.
cube.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Explore the cube.
Oh.
So long, folks.
Adios. Thanks for listening to this week's adventure on Rolling with Difficulty. We'll be back with a new installment, but if you miss us before then, check out the Rolling with Difficulty Discord. Chat with other fans, check out some cool fan art, and more. Got a question for the pod? Feel free to email us at rollwithdifficulty@gmail.com. If you enjoyed the show, please rate us and leave a review on your preferred podcast platform. And if you really enjoyed the show, consider becoming a patron for even more exclusive content. Links to all this and more can be found in the show notes below.